$7.59. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
ZipRecruiter is the place. ZipRecruiter is the place for talented teachers, savvy software developers, and master mixologists. ZipRecruiter is the place where you meet all these people and more. That's because ZipRecruiter is the place for job seekers who are looking for new opportunities. In fact, ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day, so you can find the right candidates right away. It's no wonder that ZipRecruiter is the place for skilled skydiving instructors, accomplished airbrush artists, and proficient pediatricians. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter to hire, you're missing out. ZipRecruiter is the place that's so confident it can make your hiring easier that it lets you try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. So if you want the right candidates for all your roles, ZipRecruiter is the place to go. Try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Let's go. It's time for Sedano and Kap.
A little sabor, and we're going to just nosh.
It is George Sedano. It is Scott Kaplan. Sedano and Kap is on.
I'm going to have to say respectfully, I'm going to disagree.
Okay, why is that?
I don't know.
The LA Afternoon Drive takeover.
He likes to lay the wood.
Yeah. You say Kikuchi.
Wacky forced radio stunt of the year.
Christopher can go to hell.
Oh, nothing worse than the horse. Nah, man, black don't crack.
Benjamin Pratt is like, how do you say his name? Asminger?
Asminger. Hey, these Hard Knocks guys are all over me right now. It's like I'm in back of Dayton. You are a bit killer.
Because you got to talk about sperm?
Here we go.
You don't know. You don't know. And you know why you don't know? Because you're gutless, Andy. You're gutless.
Sedano and Kap.
God, I'm going to melt you. Bing, ba-da-bop. Ding, doo-da-beep. Bop, beep-da-boop. Ba-da-bop. Ding, da-da-bop. Da-da-bop.
By the way, while you were gone, Trudell added like a almost like an operatic version of it, including like a falsetto by the end.
Really?
Yeah. I'm sure
You know, George, it's like when sometimes you see somebody do the national anthem and they take a lot of liberties with it.
Yeah.
How did you feel about it? Did you feel like, hey, that's a nice little addition?
I thought
or
it was
did you feel
well, I feel like everybody that joins the show can have their own little twist to it, is what I said.
I don't mind an interpretation, but you know, you can't go too far from the traditional. You know what I mean? Otherwise, you really insult the whole
thing.
thing.
Kirk has like an R&B version of it. You know?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So.
I always like it when Trudell does more like the deep voice version of boom, ba-dum, bing, ba-dum, bump,
right, which is why it was surprising. I would imagine Lindsay and DeAndre feel the same way, that he was able to go that high.
Oh, really?
It was very surprising.
He was struggling, but he made it.
He made it.
Hey, speaking of surprising, George, let me just say something to everybody who's listening right now, okay? First of all, thank you all very much for your well wishes. It was a flu. It wasn't much more than a flu. However, here's what I know, and I appreciate all you guys. You guys look at me the way I look at me, which is as a machine, as indestructible, okay, as impenetrable, okay? I understand that, and I appreciate that. And I'm usually the guy that says, well, I'm not going to be the one who gets sick, and you can't get past this force field, okay? But you know what? Sometimes it just happens. And, George, something got me. I don't know what it was. It got me. It got me hard.
Flu. Yeah.
It put me down, okay? So I guess my point is that while I appreciate you all thinking about me as being indestructible, a machine, impenetrable, et cetera, I'm just human just like the rest of you guys.
Hell
okay?
yeah.
Just like the rest of you, all right? I'm human. And it got me, George. But I'm back, baby. I am back.
We are back, baby.
We are
back, baby.
We are back. Just letting you know. We are back. We are back. We are back.
We are back. We are back.
You hear that, George? We are back.
We are back, baby.
You know it. In fact, You know who's back? Guess who's back?
Shady's back?
That's right. Yeah.
You're making quite the comeback here, Cappy.
Yeah. 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 Tell your friends. Guess who's back? 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 Yeah. Yeah.
I will say this: while you were gone,
Yeah.
we randomly got into, much to Lindsay's chagrin, we got into a conversation about the Eastern Conference and the top of that and who the Lakers could potentially meet in the finals. And DeAndre stopped the show and goes, "Man, we're talking about the Eastern Conference."
Come on, man.
He said, we're talking ball.
We're talking some ball around here, some Eastern Conference ball, man.
You better catch up, dog, is what he's saying.
Hey, listen, tomorrow night I'm going to be studying the Eastern Conference when the Knicks come to town.
Right. Well, the Knicks aren't really going to be doing anything.
Oh, all right. Well, listen, I'm going to start studying the Eastern Conference now.
That's it.
I got to start thinking about the Eastern Conference.
Well, listen, you may bet, right, because the Lakers are that good.
Right, well.
Start with the Cavs, Cappy.
Who knew? Who knew that the Lakers were going to be this good? But you know who maybe knew? And this happened just as I was getting sick. It was last week when the Mavericks were in town, and I don't remember who the reporter was from the LA Times. Somebody got to Anthony Davis, and I don't know if you talked about this, George, last week when I was out.
Brad Turner.
But yeah, you're right. It was Brad Turner. And Brad Turner got to Anthony Davis, and Anthony Davis, I'm paraphrasing, but essentially what he said was, they knew. And when he said they, he meant LeBron, like LeBron knew. And whether or not LeBron did know or he didn't know, because remember, every NBA reporter said LeBron didn't know, and it doesn't matter if he did or he didn't. You can think he didn't. I happen to think he did. But the bottom line is...
You've been gone for 4 shows, and this is where you want to start?
It's funny, Cap, because on Thursday...
Yeah.
This was the day after that quote was published. I said there was like, what are we going to start the show with today, right? And I said, well, there's this Anthony Davis thing. And what did I say, George?
You said, no, you should just wait because Cap's going to want to do it whenever he comes
back. And I said, I know that you don't care about this, but Cappy does.
Well, all I'm going to say is this, is that it seemed like Anthony Davis was upset. Well, naturally so, but...
Well, he was also upset with, let's not forget, prior to that, he had just gone on national television with Shams and said that he didn't like the way the direction of the team was going and asked for them to trade for a big man.
Yeah. Well, the bottom line, though, is that let's assume that Anthony Davis was
Well, by the way,
yeah,
we now know that this deal was in the works for at least 2 weeks. So, yeah, but here's the thing, Cappy. There's no way in 2025, the year of our Lord. We'll go through the exercise just for you. Nothing stays quiet. This isn't like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar telling the Bucks owner at a dinner over beef Wellington a year earlier that he wants to leave the Bucks and that they should trade him if he makes his trade request, and then it happens a year later. Like that's not now. If any agent gets wind of this, they are putting this out as quickly as possible because they want to make sure to control the narrative.
Well, all I will say is this: that if my position, which was LeBron knew, is right, here's the thing: LeBron was right. No, but that's the point, though, is that LeBron was right. Because while Anthony Davis may have been insulted, here's the thing: we've all kind of joked over the years about not letting LeBron be the general manager. But if LeBron knew, which is not the story that I'm getting to, the point of it is that the Lakers are significantly better. That's the whole point, is that he probably knew, you know what? I think we'd be better with Luka than with Anthony Davis. And Anthony Davis obviously was very upset about all this because what his whole point was, I called LeBron.
I don't know. Did you remember, though? LeBron's not that great an actor. He was not, he barely even spoke to the media when he did. It was very, measured. He almost looked confused as to what had already transpired for the first few games.
And you don't think that he's been taking acting classes while in LA?
I know he was in
years?
Space Jam, a couple years ago,
yeah.
but I don't believe he's working, at he's not sitting there with Francis Ford Coppola going over lines. You know what I mean? I don't believe that to be the case.
I thought it was with Marty Scorsese, but that was just me. I'm not sure it was Francis Ford. I thought it was with Marty Scorsese. Right. Since we're kind of just getting things kicked off here today, George.
Yes.
Did you happen to see the social media reaction to what happened yesterday before the Laker game. Did you happen to catch any of the social media reaction as to what was posted on ESPN LA?
No.
Okay. So Lindsay has taken the liberty of booking on Friday while you happen to be out for some basketball games. Do you know who the Costco guys are? Are you familiar with the Costco guys? Don't know the Costco guys.
Are they the guys that sell the hot dogs at Costco?
No, they're the boom guys. The guys who say boom. They rate things and then they give it a certain number of booms.
No idea who they are.
Never. Okay.
Boom.
DeAndre, do you have the post from yesterday?
I do.
Okay, here. Play this for George. He needs this.
Hey, it's Big Boom AJ.
Hey, Big Justice!
And tonight we are right here at the Crypto.com Arena watching the Lakers. But Friday, we will be at ESPN Los Angeles for the Sedano and Kap show. And we're coming to bring the boom!
You hear that?
Oh, that sounds riveting.
Okay. Well, let me tell you something. George, let me tell you something.
Mm-hmm.
This was not met with positivity, I'll have you know. Okay, this was met with a tremendous amount of hatred and negativity on social media.
Really? I thought these guys are the jam right now.
Okay, but I will say this. For everybody that told me I'm not listening to this, I can't believe you guys would put this crap on the air, all I'll tell you guys is my kids are all like, oh, my God, you're bringing on AJ and Big Justice? They're going to bring the boom. I'm like, is that cool? Is that good? They're like, yeah, it rocks. So for everybody that brought the hate yesterday, these guys are going to bring the boom on Friday.
Got to bring the booms, man. 5 big booms.
That's right.
Cappy, we gotta like powwow and figure out like what are we gonna have them like bring the booms with, you know?
George, you have any boom requests?
No, I'm good.
You sure about this?
You don't want to know 5 big booms?
I'm good. You guys go boom away. Boom. As a matter of fact, I'll be boomeranging out of there by the time they come on.
Well, I'm having him tape it with DeMarco because
Oh, good. Even better.
DeMarco is an AEW fan. He's a big Costco guys fan. And he was so pumped when I told him, I'm like, hey, can you stick around so we can do this, this interview with these guys and Cap? And he's like, oh, hells yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Hey, Cap,
Well,
you got to – oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Yeah.
No, I was saying, Cap, you got to, since they're AEW and all that, you got to come in, a little bit of wrestling gear, man.
You think I should I break out my
Tell them that
championship?
that Chris Jericho called you a crumb of a nacho.
Yeah. Also, tell them that I offered to tag team with the former champ Swerve Strickland.
That's right.
Yeah. And Sting.
Right. The Stinger. Yeah. Exactly right. Well, I just want to say this because I know you want to talk some ball, which I'm down for. But I want to say,
well, we have to talk some prize picks too. Actually,
I want to tell you, Georgie, I missed you, buddy. Okay.
I missed you too.
I missed you, Lindsay Baseball. I missed you, DeAndre. I owe you an apology. Okay. I know you look up to me, and I know you think. Cap, I think of you as being a machine, and I think of you as being somebody that cannot be taken down by something as simple as the flu, and I feel like I let you down in a lot of ways. But I'm back, baby. That's all I'm going to say. We are back, baby. We are back.
We are back. We are back.
That's all.
All right, Cappy, you know what? It's playoff time, and it's now or never. We're getting close, okay? We're just a few weeks away, so don't miss out on the last few weeks of action here in the NBA, because Prize Picks is the place to play. If you want to get sports action in the state of California, it's the place to do it. All you got to do is download the Prize Picks app. Use the promo code Cappy, K-A-P-P-Y. Your first $5 play gets you a $50 bonus. Man, we are talking about you getting in on some action in the sports world, Cappy. And what is your action today?
Well, I want to start off by saying this. Prior to my getting sick on Wednesday, I released my daily picks. Those daily picks on Wednesday of last week, it was a $20 5-pick flex play. George, big hit for me. $20 turned into $160, and it was Luka who had more than 25.5 points that night, and LeBron who had more than 41.5 points, rebounds, and assists that night. So great job by my squad here. I have a research staff, George, that helps me put together my prize picks. Tonight, I know everybody waits on the edge of their seat. I'll make it quick. Nikola Jokic tonight, more than 23 rebounds and assists. DeMar DeRozan, more than 17.5 points. That's a goblin play, everybody. That's the little green guy. Keegan Murray tonight, more than 13.5 points. Jared Allen, more than 23.5 points, rebounds, and assists for Cleveland at Miami. And Jeremy Grant tonight, more than 3.5 rebounds. It's a $20 5-pick flex play to win $120. Good luck to everybody playing Prize Picks.
Prize Picks, run your game.
There's nothing hotter than the Lake Show.
Luka, three-pointer. Good again.
LeBron James just broke a monumental 50,000 career points. Luka is taking over L.A.
Look at him, Michael. He's having so much fun he doesn't know what to do.
And the purple and gold are chasing their 8th straight win.
This team's showing no signs of letting up.
Lakers host the Knicks. Pregame gets going tomorrow at 5:30 p.m. on the home of the Lake Show, 710 ESPN.
Why do we grill to order at Waba Grill? Because it's just better for you. Our Asian-inspired menu has high-quality proteins that are healthier for you. Our steamed vegetables and signature salads are made fresh for you. Our sauces are more flavorful for you. From sweet and spicy to fiery hot. Right now, get our Value Bowl combo for only $8.99. Download the Waba Rewards app or order online at wabagrill.com. Waba Grill, it's for you.
Accident or injury, call Jacob and Ronnie. Call Jacob.
Winning matters, especially after an accident. At calljacob.com, we're here for you when you need a big win. After an accident, go to calljacob.com or call 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB.
Every 40 seconds, a child is reported missing. Find the Children is a nonprofit organization dedicated to helping find missing kids. You can be a part of their mission by donating your unwanted car. Call 1-800-294-0222. You'll receive the maximum tax deduction, and we provide fast, free pickup. Call 1-800-294-0222. Donate your unwanted or unused car. Call 1-800-294-0222. This advertisement was paid for in partnership with Cars R Us and Find the Children.
I had the worst dream last night. You were in a car crash, and the kids and I were on our own. We had to move out of the house because I couldn't afford it anymore.
That's awful, hon.
My brother was saying he got life insurance from Ethos. With Ethos, it only took 10 minutes, and he got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day. It's all online. No medical exam. He just answered a few health questions right from his house.
Ethos, here we come.
Visit getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
Sample rate is a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy, non-smoking male. Billed monthly.
This is Sedano and Kap on 710. Yeah. Sedano and Kap continues.
Really?
Right now.
This is why I'm hot.
Oh, yeah.
This is why I'm hot.
Cappy's back. And this is why we're hot. Although it's not hot today. It's cold and rainy.
It's so cold today. This is like the first time in a while I had to get a cold drink at Starbucks. I mean, a warm drink, a hot drink.
One of my buddies who loves vacationing, who lives in New York and loves vacationing in Southern California, sent me a screenshot of Hermosa Beach versus New York City today, and it's 57 in Hermosa when he sent it, and 55 in New York. He's like, what's going on there today? And I'm like, bro, just a rainy, cloudy day. What do you want me to tell you?
I know. It has been weird, the weather, the last maybe couple of days, really. Just cold and gray and windy and kind of gnarly out.
No, it was like sunny, at least here, the last couple of days, but cold and windy. Yes, I will give you that. Yeah.
So just
speaking of windy,
speaking of windy, Brian Windhorst, he's been talking a lot of good stuff about the lakes, hasn't he?
Right. That's what I was going to tell you.
Yeah.
Do we have the sound of Windy this morning, I believe, on Get Up about the Lakers and the Warriors? Okay, let me hear that one. Well, actually, no, back up. Let me hear the second one that says where he says, "Look the bleep out." Go ahead, play that one.
What does this mean?
Look the bleep out. The Lakers are absolutely flexing right now. They missed two starters in this game. No Austin Reeves, no Rui Hachimura. We know we've talked about their defense. I'm going to tell you, we didn't show Zion Williamson this highlight. Zion Williamson scored 17 baskets in the paint last night. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
He scored 17 baskets in the paint, and the Lakers smacked him right out of the park because their offense is now getting to the point where it's opening up their margin for error. You can tell how much confidence they got. Luka and LeBron are starting to play off each other brilliantly. They have shown that they have depth up and down the lineup. Jackson Hayes, who I thought was going to be the weak spot on this team, he had 19 points in the first half last night because he's thriving playing alongside LeBron and Luka. We are setting up for a potential very special spring, and the Lakers are right in the middle of it. And I'm telling you, I have canceled my plans, which are usually very extensive, for Saturday night. Lakers at Celtics. I have no idea whether this could be the last time they're playing this year or the first of many.
Mm-hmm. You tell
Could
him,
be the
Wendy.
first of many, Cappy.
Yeah. Hey, listen, I hope so. And, to your point about scouting out the East, you got the Knicks coming in tomorrow night, then on the road at Boston and at Brooklyn. Not that necessarily Brooklyn is, such an important part of this, and then at Milwaukee. So going to get a chance to see quite a bit of the East here in the next couple of days, next couple of games. George, Jackson Hayes, I'm so glad that Brian Windhorst said that, because when Anthony Davis was still here, the talk was you got to get another big man to go with him. And I think most of us look at Jackson Hayes as tall but skinny and athletic and exciting to dunk, but not necessarily a great defender. But I think now what we're starting to see with the Lakers is they're going to try and outscore teams as opposed to play, and they're playing great defense, don't get me wrong, but outscore teams. Like high-powered offense has become as important as lockdown defense. And just want to make a quick comment because I'm really surprised at some of the performances by Trey Jemison III. Like the first time I saw him hit the floor, I was like, who is he? Where did he come from? Because for all the talk about the guy that they were going to make the trade for from Charlotte, Mark Williams, and then the guy that they went out and got in the buyout market, Alex Len, Trey Jemison kind of was a out-of-nowhere addition to the team for me. And even though he got slammed on hardcore last night by Zion, I mean, there was that powerful dunk where Zion's head was like above the rim. You got to give it up to a guy like Trey Jemison III. That guy, he's a nice addition to this team, I think. What do you think?
Yeah, he's played pretty well. I mean, all things considered. I mean, he's kind of toiled in the G League and, kind of bouncing around and things of that nature. But, yeah, look, I would say this, is you've got two guys in LeBron and Luka who have had a long history of making guys better, period, but specifically big men. Like, big men have thrived with those kind of guys historically. And whether it's a lob threat like Jackson Hayes or, kind of a rough and tumble type of guy like Jemison, who, is like a little mini version of like what Tristan Thompson used to be in Cleveland. Like, these guys have absolutely found opportunities to fit around those two guys.
And you talk about
now I'll say this.
Yeah,
it is the regular season. Like, let's not get carried away.
Okay.
Like, neither of those guys are going to be playing heavy minutes in the postseason.
Well, what are you going to do?
What do you mean? What are
in
you
the
gonna
postseason?
do?
I mean, you're going to put those bodies on the
You're
floor.
playing
at
the
some
laser
point.
lineup.
Yeah, but you're going to have it. I mean, you don't think Jackson Hayes?
No, Jackson Hayes is going to get the look in the playoffs, Cappy. When it really matters, okay? Jackson Hayes is going to get probably the cursory 20 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes that you get as a starter.
Well, I'll just say this about Jackson Hayes,
which, by the way, is probably going to be necessary.
Yeah, but here, to his credit, okay, when everybody said the Lakers don't have a big man, and again, he's not some big bruiser, he's not some great defender, he's not some big heavy body that's going to keep Jokic away from the basket. All I'm saying is that young man has, I think, surprised many of us. I'll put myself in this category of people that didn't know that he could be this type of a contributor. And I'm just shouting the guy out. I'm happy for him.
Oh, no, I'm ecstatic for him. But I'm just saying, like, when it matters, he's probably not going to play a ton.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you this. He's doing a very good job of making J.J. Redick think, I need to put this guy on the floor.
Sure. I mean, listen, you need to eat up minutes right now. But in the postseason, Cappy, basically the guys that are going to play for the Lakers are the guys that are already playing the heaviest minutes. Like, those are the guys that you're going to see that are going to be there kind of consuming the most time. LeBron, Luka, Dorian Finney-Smith,
right.
Let me see.
Gabe Vincent played.
Vando, Rui Hachimura,
Mm-hmm.
Gabe Vincent, right? Like, those are going to be the guys that are going to play the most.
Well, it's funny because you just got to Rui, and we're I don't know.
And Austin, obviously,
and hadn't mentioned Austin. That to me is the most impressive part about what we're watching, is that at least over the last couple of games with Rui and Austin not being healthy. To have other guys stepping up and keeping their foot on the gas and the winning continues, to me, there's just such a different vibe. Like, to all four of us, Are we all feeling differently? Because I remember last week when Dallas was coming to town, I was saying there's this playoff feel, this vibe that I haven't felt around a Laker game, especially a regular season game, in a really long time. And we all understand it was Luka and the free parking and the multi-million-dollar sports car, in the courtyard and the fan base and everything else. But I was saying to George off the air earlier today, even in 2020, when they won the bubble championship, there was nowhere near this kind of buzz because we were all stuck at home.
Hell yeah.
Right? But I have not felt anything even remotely close to this since the earliest Phil Jackson, Kobe, Shaq type teams.
Hell yeah.
I don't know about the rest of you guys.
That's Luka, by the way.
I don't know, Cappy. When they traded for Anthony Davis going into that season, I think there was a ton of hype and expectations for them to win a championship.
What year was that? You think that was 2018 or 19?
It was LeBron's second season. They did it in the offseason.
18. The 18-19
Yeah, 18.
season.
Yeah.
Okay. So, again, for me, this is just me talking now.
No. 18-19 was not. 18-19 was when LeBron came over, no?
He came over the summer of 2017-18.
Here, all I'm trying to say
he played that year with all the young guys.
Yeah, and he got hurt a lot.
18-19 was the year. Okay, so 17-18. Was it 17-18? I don't know, whatever.
I just remember
that's when I moved here.
I just remember him getting hurt, LeBron. I remember him getting hurt, and I remember the Rams were kind of in the early part. The Rams had just come back to L.A. The Rams were playing at the Coliseum. I remember broadcasting a game.
No, Lindsay, 17-18 he played in Cleveland. 18-19 he played in L.A. with the young guys. And then 19-20 was the first year they had Anthony Davis and they won the championship.
Come on, Lindsay. Come on, baseball. Come on, Lindsay, basketball.
I get confused by the
Come on,
17-18,
Well, the bottom line is
this.
That
there was no way it was 17 because I remember summer of 18. I'll never forget. I was literally flying back from Hawaii when they sent out that release that he was signing with the Lakers.
Okay.
And I was like, and I was doing the morning show back then, and I was supposed to have the day off the next day because we were coming back late from Hawaii. And I was like, well, guess I'm not getting much sleep tonight.
Mm-hmm. Well, all I'm trying to say is this. In 18-19 or 19, whatever year Anthony Davis came, you say that
18-19.
That his arrival matched this
I'm
level?
sorry, 19-20. Sorry,
okay.
19-20.
His level, his arrival matched this
Yes, when
level?
they signed when they signed Anthony Davis, when they traded, rather, for Anthony Davis, and they traded Lonzo and Brandon Ingram and their entire young core, basically, right? The expectation was they are going to win a championship. And if it doesn't happen, it is an absolute unmitigated disaster.
Mm-hmm. What I'm saying to you is that I got to ESPN 710 in 2020, and in the 5 years...
you were where were you?
I was in San Diego, and I wasn't really that interested. So for me, what I'm saying is that for me, in the previous 5 years, I've never seen as much excitement about this team.
5 years, yes, I'll give you.
And I've never seen anything quite like it when it comes to how great they're playing. They're playing the best basketball right now that they've played in the last 5 years.
Hell yeah.
Go back to the bubble championship.
Since they won the championship.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is the best. This is the best stretch of Laker basketball since the championship in the bubble.
Although
in
they
Orlando.
did have a really good stretch in the year they were defending the championship until LeBron turned his ankle on Solomon Hill's leg.
But I don't even remember it being this good. On
both
ends of the
it
floor.
was really good.
Yeah.
I want to say they started 22-6 or something like that, or 22-5. I don't know, something.
And
crazy
what are they? What do you think they are in their last? I don't know. What is it? 25, 30 games? I guess before the trade.
They're 20-3 or something like that.
They're on fire, man.
They had a great stretch.
They are on fire, and winning games even when you've got starters out. I mean, and two-way players are arriving, and you're like, I don't even know who these guys are, and they're contributing. This is just the best stretch of Laker basketball that I personally can remember in the last 5 years. And my memory's not great, just so you know. And by the way, coming out,
and you've got flu fog.
I've got brain fog from the flu. Just so you know, this is a real thing.
Yeah.
And even if it's not a real thing, I'm going to keep saying it's a real thing, so that every time I forget something, I have something to blame it on.
Well, I will tell you
sense?
that I remember doing shows at this station and people arguing with me, we can't trade Brandon Ingram, Lonzo, and everybody for Anthony Davis. That was a big point. That was a big time in recent Laker history because remember, they were stinky for a lot of years before that.
Stinky.
Yeah.
like a pair of like socks that you've been wearing for 3
Right,
days straight.
right. What wasn't good?
And
Wasn't
an old
good.
pair of like sweaty
Wasn't good.
Chuck
And
Taylors.
I know Dead Meow's going to say, "Oh, here he is. He's going to bring out the 6 years before LeBron." Right? Yeah. Yes.
Wait, you're already calling out his criticism before he criticizes?
Well, I just know him. Like, he's so predictable. He's just going to put that in the Sedano and Kap circle of trust. So I'm just already telling him you can do it already because I know it's coming. So.
Okay, well, all I know is this. Right now, this stretch of Laker basketball,
You're excited, Cappy, and that's all that matters.
I'm going to give it
Literally,
5
booms. The world revolves around you,
Yeah.
and your memory is foggy,
Right.
as we clearly have stated. And for you, the newest thing is the greatest thing. And I'm not saying that you're necessarily wrong here, but yeah, like it's been a long time. I'll give you that.
I'm giving it the Costco guy boom. This is the best stretch of Laker basketball in the last 5
By the
years.
way, the audience is not happy with that. Yeah.
Well,
they're
you know what?
definitely not.
You guys are all wrong, and here's how I judge things. It's not based on what you say in the YouTube chat. It's based on my 3 daughters going, wait a second, you have these Costco guys coming on? Oh, my
So
God,
we're gonna
that's
blame
so cool.
your kids if they stink? Is what's going to happen?
Yeah, I guess so. But put it this way. My kids are all
Fair
like,
enough.
Dad, this is really dope. The fact that you have on the Costco guys is super dope. Seriously.
Did
it
they
is.
use the phrase dope?
Super dope is the phrase they used.
Oh, okay, thanks.
DeAndre,
All right, coming up next,
adjudicate.
Cappy.
I want to know what DeAndre, yes or no? Cool or not cool?
I mean, they're cool. I mean, yeah, they're trending still out throughout TikTok and through all of social media. I mean, they've been a hit, man.
You sound really convincing.
I asked all these guys around here because I'm not super familiar. Like, I know who they are, but everyone around here is like, oh yeah.
All right,
Especially
well, there you go,
Cappy.
Cappy. Oh,
I
yeah.
said, Cappy, do you know them? And he was like, yes. And I was like, surprised.
Yeah. Lindsay was super impressed that I knew who
was.
the Costco guys were.
I said, okay, tell me all about them.
Yeah.
Boom.
Are you? I would be super impressed if you tell me where DK Metcalf and Devontae Adams will end up. How about that?
I'll tell you both of those things.
Tell me next.
The legend of LeBron continues to grow, and we're witnessing greatness every time he steps on the floor.
Laker Nation, on your feet and honor LeBron James.
Cross court to LeBron. 3 for 50,000. It's good. LeBron goes over 50K, and the crowd comes to its feet.
The first and only player in NBA history to reach 50,000 career points.
I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat it. It's a hell of a lot of points. I'm super blessed to be able to put that many points up in the best league in the world.
A historical milestone that will likely never be matched again.
50K points, I can't even explain how insane that is. And he might get to 70K, you never know.
LeBron's legacy is etched in NBA history, and you are living it all here.
The home of LeBron and the Lakers is 710 ESPN.
Pickleball. Hey, Southern California, I'm Ty Pennington, the home guy, teaming up with Pechanga Resort Casino to give away a brand new house. Imagine yourself in a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom home in incredible Temecula, California. All you need to do is play your favorite slots or table games at Pechanga Resort Casino. The more you play, the more entries you earn. Visit Pechanga.com or call 888-PECHANGA for complete details on Home Sweet Win.
Rules and conditions apply. Go to Pechanga.com for more details.
Hey, you feel it? Days are getting longer, sun is getting warmer. Looks like our SoCal summer is right around the corner. Here in California, we're all about choosing chill. From hitting the beach to the best hiking trails, to going all out to support our teams. One thing really ties it all together. Enjoying it all with good friends and a cold Coors Light. Pick up Coors Light near you or get it delivered to your door today. Visit CAChooseChill.com to learn more. 2025 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
Evan Cohen here. Picking a place to build a life is a lot like selecting a draft pick. Make a decision that will set you up for long-term success. Pick Wisconsin. In Wisconsin, you'll find dynamic career opportunities, beautiful seasons, affordable living, and legendary weekends. From its high quality of life and great schools to its fine arts, culinary, and pro sports scenes, Wisconsin gives you so much to look forward to. That's why you should pick Wisconsin. Learn more about making Wisconsin your home. Visit pickwisconsin.com.
Empower
Jen has ordered a decadent seafood tower, king crab legs, lobster tails, and a waterfall of caviar. Pricey? You bet. But Jen worked with Empower on her savings and investment strategy and planned for splurges like these. She got good at money, so she can be a little bad. Ooh, champagne. Empower. Invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
Past performance is not indicative of future returns. Investing involves risk. You may lose money. Advisory services are provided for a fee by Empower Advisory Group, LLC, EAG, a registered investment advisor with the Securities and Exchange Commission. OMG, those shrimps are really jumbo.
This is Sedano and Kap on 710.
I'm a cocky son of a like, there's no question about that.
Sedano and Kap continues right now.
That's one of my faves. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
2018. No, I'm sorry, 2016.
Come on, man.
Number
Figure it out,
one hit.
will you? I mean, you were all over the place today with your dates. You don't know what year LeBron came. You don't know what year AD came.
No, I did. Lindsay confused
you
me.
You don't know what year Riri
blame me.
sang what song. I mean, come on.
I mean, you did confuse me. I was like, wait, that's not. But that's why I said that's not. I don't think that's right.
Maybe you have brain fog.
I did warn
me?
you guys I have brain fog today. You have it. I have it.
George, I hope you're looking at me today on YouTube because you have inspired me.
I am?
Yes, you've
I have?
inspired me. I've decided to go with a much shorter haircut now. I just decided to just 86.
Well, it looks cleaner, that's for sure.
The whole Jufro
I'm looking at it
thing.
now.
Yeah, I mean, it was like such a big, giant Jufro. I'm like, all right, I'm taking the whole thing down.
But you know what that means when you go shorter hair?
Tell me.
You got to be careful what you eat. You go
Because?
shorter hair.
Yeah.
And the face explodes and expands.
Oh, yeah, you get fat.
You look even heavier.
You look fatter than you already do, huh?
More visceral fat.
Yeah. So
more.
Bigger, right? Facts, right, DeAndre?
Facts,
If you got short crop, you got to make sure to keep the face tight because if you don't, it's gonna look bigger and rounder than it normally will.
Yeah. All of a sudden, like my chin gets big and fat, my fat cheeks. You know.
Yeah.
I know. I'm gonna try and keep it a little trim. I think today's March the 5th, and I expect my 6-pack to return by June the 1st.
6-pack.
You know what? You're right, DeAndre. 8-pack. You got that
8-pack?
right. That's
Come
right.
on now.
8-pack. No, for real.
Come on,
For real. What do you mean? Come on, Cap.
Gotta be realistic.
Okay, so what do you think I can get? You can get a 2-pack?
Yeah, I think 2-pack.
I mean, can you
4-pack.
just get a pack?
Right. I'd take one. Just one. It's not a pack. I'll just take one. I'm with you.
Cappy, would you take Devontae Adams or DK Metcalf if you had your choice?
DK Metcalf would be my choice. Okay. But let me just say this.
Both available, obviously.
Right. So, DK Metcalf obviously earlier today told the Seahawks, I want to trade. Okay, I'm ready to get out of here. Yeah. If I'm DK Metcalf, I would love to go to the Rams. And by the way, isn't it interesting now how when good football players are available, we kind of do with good football players what we do with good players in baseball and in basketball. If a really great basketball player says he wants a trade, what do we right away do? Come into the Lakers.
Oh, Lakers, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Lakers. Sure. I mean, 2 years ago, Giannis was like,
look, in the NBA, in Major League Baseball, it's the Dodgers, it's the Yankees, it's the Mets. Maybe the Red Sox are thrown in there occasionally. The Braves, right? Those are kind of the teams that and one of the Texas teams usually gets thrown in there too. So, and then in the NBA, right? It's the Lakers, it's the Knicks. It's Miami because they're a warm weather city, like that. Those are the teams that generally get thrown. Phoenix was always thrown out for a long time too, although that thing's a mess right now.
Yeah, it sure is.
But nonetheless, like those are always the teams. Like warm weather teams in the NBA generally have an advantage. The Lakers being the number one with a bullet.
But even 2 years ago, Giannis was like talking about, if Milwaukee doesn't build a championship around me, this was after Milwaukee had won a championship. He was like, we immediately, I don't know about the whole country, but we immediately went, Giannis will eventually be a Laker.
Well, there's already chatter about him becoming a Knick, actually, because he had some other comments similar to that just recently.
So here goes. When a player like a DK Metcalf becomes, I shouldn't say available, but when he says that he demands a trade or wants out.
Yeah. Well, he's going to be available. If he wants a trade, he's probably going to be gone.
Yeah, and it's going to be hard to get a player like that to stay inside the division. I would think it would be hard for the Seahawks to say, yeah, we'll give a player of this magnitude to the Rams, and it would probably be hard for the Rams to say, we're going to give up X to get this kind of guy. But like right away, I start thinking to myself, if the Rams have already told Cooper Kupp it's not happening, I would love to see a player like DK Metcalf alongside of a Nuka, you know who I meant, Puka. You know what I mean? Not Luka, Puka. not a Luka, a Puka. But you understand what I'm getting at? Like to me, I would love to see a DK Metcalf going deep for the Rams. How awesome would he look in a Rams uniform?
Happy Chinooka. I have no idea.
All right, Chinooka, Puka, Luka.
Yeah, it all.
All right, sorry, we're back here still laughing.
Yeah, listen. DK Metcalf. How old is DK Metcalf?
Probably not even 30 yet.
Probably still in his 20s.
Mm-hmm.
27.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
now
you can get him.
Now you mentioned Devontae Adams.
Right.
Let me
32,
throw.
by the way, Devontae Adams.
Let me throw an idea by you and tell me if you think I'm crazy. You ready?
Go ahead.
Aaron Rodgers goes to the Raiders.
And Devontae Adams goes back after just like destroying the franchise?
Yes.
No, come on.
I know it sounds stupid. I know it sounds ridiculous.
I mean, listen, I don't put it. Listen, I have learned in the year of our Lord 2025 never to dismiss anything summarily, but it does seem insane.
It does seem insane. Because here's the thing. Honestly, like if I'm Pete Carroll, and you know that now that they call me, Raider Cap, now that they call me such a thing, and I look at my coach, Pete Carroll, I'd love to have Tyler Lockett, who Seattle let go today. Because I think
How about DK Metcalf, who he drafted?
I would love to have DK Metcalf. Either of those guys, both of those guys work for me now that I'm Raider Cap. Again, remember, I support the LA teams.
DK Metcalf would also look nice in a Chargers or Niners uniform, too, for that matter.
Niners, maybe. Chargers, not so much. But remember, I support the LA teams.
Oh, you don't think he's like a Harbaugh kind of player? Oh, I think he is.
Well, all I know is this. My teams are
Big
the
and
Rams
strong.
and the Raiders.
Yeah.
Those the two LA football
Kick 'em in the
teams.
shins.
Those are the teams that I support, Rams and Raiders. So I want DK Metcalf to either play for the Rams or the Raiders. And I think it's probably more likely to go to the Raiders. But you see, this is my whole point, is that the Raiders still have to deal with a quarterback. Until they deal with a quarterback, they're not getting, like, offensive talent yet because nobody wants to go there until they know who the quarterback is.
Right.
Although
so
today,
you're saying just let Aaron and Brady are going to coexist?
Oh, no doubt. As a matter of fact, I've talked myself into this. You ready for this? Here goes.
Okay.
Aaron Rodgers, because of the terrible 2 years with the New York Jets, has actually been humbled. And the reason that it didn't work in New York is because a head coach like Robert Saleh doesn't have the credibility to coach a player like that. But Pete Carroll and the combination of Pete Carroll and Tom Brady together, they could actually get the best of what's left out of Aaron Rodgers. And if they got Aaron Rodgers on a 2-year deal, DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett.
2-year deal?
Yeah, 2-year deal.
Oh,
2-year deal.
come on.
No, I can't just have him for a year. I need a 2-year deal.
He's 41 years old. He's going to be 42 before the season ends.
That's all right. He's going to start eating the avocado ice cream. Tom Brady's going to give him his dietitian.
Oh, okay.
Think about that.
Listen, no thanks on Aaron Rodgers. I mean, the Raiders, he beats Gardner Minshew, so I guess at this point you take what you can get. But, man, he is not someone I would go after. I don't think he's got a ton left.
Well,
he
again,
can't move.
I would just say this. Go back and look at last year's numbers.
I get it.
Jets
you
were
already
not
told
good.
me. Look at the last
Jets were
handful
not good.
of games or
And
whatever.
he played pretty well. I mean, his numbers were pretty decent.
Yeah, they had nothing to play for.
Okay. Well, listen, you tell me a better option right now for the Raiders. Zach Wilson?
Oh, I mean,
Daniel Jones?
I'd much rather have Sam Darnold right now than Aaron Rodgers today.
But that's if. That's a big if. Because, if you get Sam Darnold, I think you're making a serious commitment. And I'm not sure that
I
the
don't
Raiders
think you have to make a serious commitment to Sam Darnold.
What do you
he's
think?
not even getting franchise tag.
What do you think? What do you think you got to make? You got to give
I
him
think
a
that
4-year deal?
I think the Vikings. I think the Vikings would even consider bringing him back on that Baker Mayfield kind of deal, where for high 20s or low 30s.
Hey, if you're Sam, do that. Go compete and be prepared to play.
Yeah, I would do it. I would much rather go to the Vikings. We had this conversation yesterday with Trudell while you were here. He got very testy about the Vikings.
I heard about this. I heard he was testy. I heard Dave McMiniman was testy yesterday. Heard there was a lot of and I heard that you sparked it all.
I was the rabble rouser.
You were you? I like that. Good for you, man.
Well, Cappy, you know what else is good? Tell us about your friend Avner Gatt, because we're way over the break. Which
come on, man. Already?
Listen, it's your first day back.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, look, if you have a flood in your house, and I have been there, I have done that, it is terrible, and it can really upend your life. If you have a flood in your house and your insurance company is not there to cover you like they're supposed to be, they're not approving your replacement living arrangement, and all of a sudden your adjustment decides that he wants to ghost you, let me tell everybody what to do. You take a deep breath, and then you call Avner Gatt. Avner is one of Southern California's largest public adjuster firms, and Avner knows how to fight back when the insurance company makes you, how dare they make you feel like you're the criminal. Hey, man, I had a flood in my house. I pay you every month. The least you can do is return my freaking call. Let me tell you something. You're going to get your home back together. You're going to get your life back together, and Avner Gatt is the one who's going to take care of business. Avner and his team have been at this for 20-plus years. Negotiating and working with insurance companies is what they do. They have the relationships with all of these people. You do not. They know what they're doing, Avner Gatt and his team. They are professionals. Let them handle this for you. So if you have a toilet overflow, a broken water line, a burst supply line, a broken fire sprinkler, it doesn't really matter what the water damage is, you call Avner Gatt today. Here's his number, 818-917-5256, 818-917-5256. His website is avnergatt.com. You'll meet his team, and you'll find out all about his services. When you call Avner, he will answer the phone himself. You'll know it's him when you hear, hello. So call him, 818-917-5256. Avner Gatt, your claim, our game.
Monday night in Chicago, Kings captain Anze Kopitar scored his 14th goal of the season in the last game of the three-game road trip.
And into the neutral zone comes Kempe. With that shot to the face earlier, he's left wing and left circle. Kopitar scores! Anze Kopitar ties this game up with 8:21 to play here in period one.
Make it happen, Cap, and they were needing something big from their captain, and he led the way. Gets a nice feed here from Turcotte, takes it on the backhand, and puts it just inside the post. The entire line will have an impact on that.
Tonight, Kopitar and the Kings return to Los Angeles, where they've posted the NHL's best home record this season. It's the Kings and the St. Louis Blues. Listen live at 7 on the all-new ESPN LA app.
Followed by Canada versus Mexico. The dream is now. Don't miss the Final Four national teams in the semifinals doubleheader. One ticket, two matchups. Get your tickets now on Ticketmaster. For more information, visit CONCACAFNationsLeague.com/tickets.
710 ESPN.
Sedano and Kap for your afternoon right now on 710 ESPN.
It's time for what you need to know.
Let's do it. What you need to know right now.
What you need to know is brought to you by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Good times. It's the 90 minutes from wherever you are. Take it away, Linz.
Thanks, Sedano.
Wow. You're welcome.
So I saved this one from last week, Cappy. This is because I wanted to make sure that you heard it. Tom Brady's latest business venture after football might surprise you. I don't know, maybe not. Because as we were just talking about, he's very he's well known for his strict diet and his longevity because of his health-focused brand, you know. And so now he's releasing his own product called Goat Gummies, a gummy snack, which is nutritional, organic, vegan, made without artificial sweeteners, dyes, or flavors, and only uses real fruit. They're going to be available in 3 flavors. Sweet Rush, which is pear, mango, and passion fruit and cherry.
Okay.
Sour Burst, which is tangerine, apricot, and grapefruit. And Tropic Fusion, which is passion fruit, raspberry, and pomegranate. And
These
you
are just gummy snacks.
Yeah. And they're it's basically like healthy fruit snacks for kids.
Okay.
But you can have them with your kids. Grown-ups can have them. They're just not as not as childlike, I guess, as like regular fruit snacks, maybe.
I keep I'm on the verge of ordering like these creatine gummies, because the only way I take creatine is I take like a little scoop of it and I put it into my protein smoothies. Yeah. But I don't really have one every day, and I really want to add creatine to my diet every day. And I'm surprised. So Tom doesn't have creatine gummies. He just has
Not yet.
regular fruit snack gummies.
You should write him a letter. I'm going to reach out to his company to see if we can get you some samples of these goat gummies.
Oh, I would love to. I'd sample them.
Yeah, he sent them to some influencers, and they were reviewing them, and everyone seems to think that they're pretty good.
Goat gummies.
Yeah.
Are they shaped like little goats?
I don't think so, but I think they're shaped like his head, to be honest.
Oh, really?
I think so.
So it's recognizable that, hey, this looks like Tom Brady's head.
Yeah, you know how those like likenesses work out. You know, they don't really ever look like the guy. Although the Mike Tyson ones kind of do.
George, maybe if I start to take the goat gummies from Tom Brady, maybe it'll suck my face in. You know what I mean?
Maybe.
You know,
it does work. It does work for him,
right? Maybe my face won't look so fat with my new short haircut. Have my jawline look sharp, you know, maybe my chin and my cheeks look nice and strong.
Chisel.
Right. You got me, DeAndre.
I got you.
I'm making a face right now. I'm trying to get my cheekbones high and my chin. I mean, maybe if I eat the Tom Brady goat gummies, I could lose like 4 or 5 of my chins. You know?
Well, maybe if you like replace some of the bad foods, like, you know, I love candy. That's my downfall is like sugar and candy. And so does Trudeau, because he's always in here eating his little gummy snacks. Maybe if you replace something that you eat that like you can't put down, like the sweets, replace it with these, and maybe you'll be better off.
I've been doing really well with not eating sweets, but I got trapped the other day. I was going into a CVS to get more like vitamin C gummies. Okay, because my doctor's like, dude, load up on vitamin C.
CVS has good vitamin C gummies, and like big like jars.
Yeah. So I walk in front of the CVS, don't you know, that there's 2 moms and 2 little Girl Scouts, and they've got the whole Girl Scout cookie setup going on.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So I walk in, and I walk past the little Girl Scouts, and they're like, hey, mister, would you like to buy some Girl Scout cookies? And my answer, of course, is, hey, girls, I'll get you on the way out. You know what I mean? Which is my way of trying to say that I'm really not going to buy anything from you.
And you're hoping that they're not there when you're back.
Correct. Like I'm hoping mom has to take in little one to go to the bathroom or whatever. Well, of course, I come back and all 4 are there. The 2 moms, the 2 little Girl Scouts.
And they're like, oh, welcome back.
Yeah, they're like, mister, you said you were going to buy some cookies. And I'm like, I don't want these cookies, girl. I'm like, I have daughters. They were Girl Scouts. We sold cookies. I understand the pressure that's on everybody. I don't want your freaking Girl Scout cookies. But, of course, I could not buy them. So I had to. So I bought 2 boxes. Now, do you know, George, that the names of the Girl Scout cookies have changed? Are you familiar with this?
Well, they're different based on where you live.
Okay, you're telling me something I don't know. Here's what I do know. They used to have what was called like the Samoa, right? That was the one that has like the chocolate base with the little
coconut.
Right.
Yeah, they're called like coconut something out here. They're different. It's depending on region.
Well, they changed the name of them, and it screwed me up. And then what's the one with the peanut butter? It's like the chocolate one with the wafer with the peanut butter underneath. It's got like no flavor to it at all. Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
Aren't those the patties?
I don't know if they're called patties. I don't know, man. But I just know that I had to buy them.
No. They're called. Oh my gosh, how do I not know this?
I don't know.
Look it up.
$6 a box. I don't want these freaking things. So, of course, I buy 2 boxes of them, and then they're like, okay, well, there's also this little jar right over here where we're donating to, like, military families. We're buying boxes. So, of course, they got me for $20, these little girls. They got me for $20, no problem.
You act like they held you up or something.
Oh, they did hold me up with their cuteness.
Tagalongs. But
Tagalongs.
They're called peanut butter patties out here.
See, I was right.
But up in like Ohio,
I've only
Florida,
seen them called tagalongs, but maybe I'm wrong.
They said that it depends on like the distributor where they come from.
All right. Well, the girls told me they changed the names this year. That's what they told me. So they got me for 2 boxes, and they got me for the $8 for the military families. And it wouldn't be so bad if I took the boxes of the Samoas and the peanut butter patties and I gave them to somebody else, but I didn't. I brought them to my house and I ate them like a fat ass. So, hey, Girl Scouts, do me a favor, will you? Leave me alone. All right? Gosh,
Next time, instead of saying, I'll get you on the way out, say, I just bought some yesterday, and then they'll leave you alone.
Oh, well, you know what happened is I went to my car, I dropped stuff off, and I'm like, oh, I forgot something inside. So I go back in, and the girl's like, hello, sir, would you like to buy some of these cookies? I'm like, girl, I just bought 2 boxes from you. She's like, oh, I forgot, sorry. So I made no impact whatsoever on this little girl. None, zero.
If you think that was a guilt trip, Cappy, the other day I was walking past Trader Joe's, and
you're not supposed to pronounce the J.
You're right, but I don't want to get in trouble. So I was walking past Trader Joe's, and the Girl Scouts had like their little table set up and everything. They stop what they're doing. They stand in front of me, and there's like maybe 2 other people walking by, and they do a full-on like choreographed dance. And at the end, they're like, "Buy some cookies," and I was like, "What the hell? Really?
Got to
Really?
Gotta buy 'em.
I just put money in their little jar because I was just like, thanks, that was great. Because but I couldn't say no. I couldn't like not do anything.
George, have you been held up for Girl Scout cookies yet?
I have not. No.
Wait till they hit you with the choreographed dance, and then you're done.
And Aria's not selling anything?
Unfortunately, yeah. I have not. Well, I haven't been to like the grocery store lately either. So,
yeah, you're smarter than us. You just don't go. Send Kelly.
Yeah,
she probably bought some.
No.
Ask her.
I asked her. No.
Maybe she's holding out on you.
I just texted her now. I said, "Have you gotten any Girl Scout cookies?" Because I'd eat them.
You'd eat them. You don't even care, do you?
Yeah, I don't care.
You don't care. What do you care?
I mean, I have like a couple here and there, and that's it.
Well, I did have a couple here and there.
The reality is, if I know if I'm going to have a Girl Scout cookie, I have to then make up for it in other ways. Like I have to kind of just get a little extra workout in or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I got to figure it out.
I thought you meant you were going to have Boy Scout cookies. You're going to make up for it in other ways. You balance things out a little bit here. Do Boy Scouts have cookies?
No.
Okay.
They do popcorn.
Oh,
they do?
Boy Scout popcorn.
They sell like tins of popcorn.
All right, never heard of it.
Me neither, actually. All right, coming up next, Cappy.
Tell me.
Is J.J. Redick the coach of the year? We got to get into this on the other side because I think there is a legit debate here, potentially. We'll get into that. Stick around. Cappy's back, 710 ESPN.
There's nothing hotter than the Lake Show.
Luka, three-pointer. Good again.
LeBron James just broke a monumental 50,000 career points. Luka is taking over L.A.
Look at him, Michael. He's having so much fun he doesn't know what to do.
And the purple and gold are chasing their 8th straight win.
This team's showing no signs of letting up.
Lakers host the Knicks. Pre-game gets going tomorrow at 5:30 p.m. on the home of the Lake Show, 710 ESPN.
I'm Doug.
And I'm Damon.
And we want to buy your house.
Let Seller's Advantage show you how we can give you more.
No fees, no commissions, and no repairs. Just a fair cash offer that can close in just a few days.
Check out our Google reviews.
And call Seller's Advantage today or visit sellersadvantage.com.
Use hashtag LakersGoFoat, GFOAT, and hashtag promotion, and follow at ESPN Los Angeles. The Lakers Gofoat is going to be rewarded with courtside seats, a VIP private tour of the Lakers UCLA Health Training Center, a year's supply of BBGO, and more. The Lakers Gofoat. Is it you?
Have you heard the refinancing rule of thumb that says you have to drop your rate at least 0.5% to refi because it'll take several years of savings to recoup the closing costs for a refi? The Loan Exchange says the rule is nonsense. With a Loan Exchange free closer, you can lower your rate without paying any cost whatsoever. That's right, lower your rate with no cost and your balance doesn't go up. You start saving on the first day you have the loan and every day thereafter. If you decide to move next year or rates drop further, you can exchange that loan for another without losing a dollar that was tied up in closing costs. Today's 30-year fixed-free closer rate in APR is 5.99%. So if your current mortgage rate is higher than 5.99%, give the Loan Exchange a call at 855-752-9944 or log on to theloanexchange.com. It won't cost you a thing. NMLS 1637539. Loan subject to credit approval. See website for licensing information, loan terms and conditions. Equal housing lender. Call 855-752-9944 or visit theloanexchange.com.
You never expect a massive trade between superstar players or getting into an accident. Hey, it's Trav with DeMarco.
There's only one team you can call on to play defense for you, the personal injury law offices of Joseph S. Normand. Visit normandlegal.com or call this number, 213-747-2000. That's 213-747-2000.
Visit normandlegal.com or call 213-747-2000. That's 213-747-2000. Let Joseph and his team score the winning shot for you.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again. At work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text LION to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text LION to 42424. That's LION to 42424.
It's the LA Afternoon Takeover on 710 ESPN.
Man, I hate when my brain is right and my heart is wrong.
It was so close to having your brain wrong and your heart right,
Oh,
too.
it would have been so much fun if that were the case.
More Sedano and Kap right now.
Ooh.
Oh, man, I haven't heard this song in a long time. In fact, ever. It's a new jam that's just dropped?
Just yesterday, Kevin.
Oh, really? This joint just dropped, huh? Who sings
Candy
this joint?
Rain, man. Come on.
You're joking, right, Cap?
Nah, hey, DeAndre, I said I knew every word to every song at the Eagles in the Sphere. When you know every word to every song of the Eagles, I like the beat, but I think it's new. Who is this?
Soul for Real. Candy Rain,
Soul
right?
for Real? Yeah. I'm feeling it.
It's like a, I don't know, Cappy, mid-90s, I don't feel like you were like into like R&B, if I had to guess.
1995, this song was the #1 hit.
There you go.
Nah, I was jamming to like Pearl Jam at that point.
Right. You were like,
Right.
I'm still alive.
Right. Yeah. Soundgarden. Yeah, it was all like Seattle grungy.
Black hole sun,
Right.
don't you run and walk away, Wayne.
You
That's
got
one
it.
of the craziest videos ever, but it's so good.
Black Hole Sun?
Yes.
Great
I
song.
remember being little and being like terrified of it.
It was like a horror movie.
Yes.
Oh, no.
People's
No.
faces were melting off and stuff, and
Yeah,
like
no.
the dog was licking the lady's face off.
The worst video, the scariest video of all time was from Metallica, and the song is called One. Have you guys ever heard this song?
Yeah, it's super.
And there's like a video of a guy who's like half his body's been blown to bits and his face is like
Right,
underneath
it's like a
this
war
cardboard
zone. Right.
box.
Yeah, yeah,
right.
yeah.
And he's trying to communicate in Morse code by using his head to like jump up and down. Like that video right there. If you've never seen One from Metallica, don't even see it. Okay, it'll scare the hell out of you.
If you've never seen it, don't even see it.
That's right. If you've never seen it, don't like listen to me and go, I got to see what he's talking about. No, don't. Just don't. Anyway, where were we?
I
Because we're
wanted
talking
to
about
ask.
Aaron Rodgers and
No.
that whole thing.
No, I think we were getting ready to talk about J.J. Redick and Coach of the Year.
So Stephen A. dropped this on us today when he was on First Take this morning.
What did he say about J.J. Redick? Good Lord have mercy. You got to give our former colleague some love. He's a Coach of the Year candidate. I don't think he's ahead of Bernie Bickerstaff, but I think he's right there with Atkinson for the job that he's doing in L.A. right now. They are the #1 defense over the last 7 weeks.
Should LeBron get some credit for that?
Defense?
No,
They all do.
Should LeBron get some credit for J.J. Redick? Because he
Well-
got killed for, hey, we have a podcast together, and he just got the job, and it's
Are you ready for
essentially
this?
nepotism and this and that, and
appreciate-
he has no coaching experience
Appreciate
except his
that.
son.
Appreciate
and
that.
Now, and now,
Appreciate
wait,
that.
I didn't finish my thought.
Go ahead.
And I'm saying, and now we're praising him as potentially he's the Coach of the Year, and we were like raking LeBron through
Right.
the coals for that.
Are you ready for this? I'd still rake him because nobody complained about J.J. Redick being the coach. It was how it happened. You don't have a podcast with an aspiring head coach while your head coach is coaching you and rumors are swirling that his job is in jeopardy. That's low class. It doesn't change what I said about LeBron. It doesn't change what anybody said about LeBron as it pertains to how everything happened with J.J.
But
Redick
he
becoming the head
wasn't
coach.
maybe right about
It has nothing
scouting J.J. Redick as a
again,
head coach?
I could be right, you could be right, somebody could be right, but how you do something matters. And how that happened was still wrong. I'm going to give a damn they win a championship. I'd still sit there if you asked me the same question and say, that was jacked up. You understand? Darvin Ham took them to the Western Conference Finals. And then the next year they lost in the first round. Both times was to Denver. We had speculated at that time that nobody but Denver could beat the Los Angeles Lakers. But yet this dude is an assistant coach, and he's out of a job as a head coach, and your star player, all right, was having a podcast about basketball with the guy that succeeded him.
You know, I'm going to tell you something, George. I think you're going to be surprised with what I'm about to tell you.
What's that?
Disagree with Stephen A.
I do too.
Disagree.
Go ahead. I want to hear why you disagree.
Here's why. Because if I'm going to complain about LeBron James and moves that I perceive that he has his hands on,
which
a million times, right? I have said a million times that LeBron James went out and he got Russell Westbrook, and Russell Westbrook completely destroyed the culture of the franchise for a period of time. He also got the coaches fired, et cetera, et cetera. And I said, this is all on LeBron, because if LeBron keeps out of the front office and LeBron doesn't force the Lakers to go get Brody, then Brody's never comes to the Lakers. So I have criticized LeBron for being too involved. But I got to play fair here, okay? Last year, I will admit, I ridiculed the whole circumstance, which was LeBron's doing this podcast with JJ. LeBron is clearly setting up JJ to become the coach. Even during the whole thing, what's the guy's name? Hurley from Connecticut. That whole conversation about how Dan Hurley was at the last minute. He was going to become the coach of the Lakers, and it never really happened. It was always JJ Redick's job. Why? Because LeBron James, as we've talked about a million times, has a business partnership with the Lakers, and LeBron James was saying to the Lakers, Darvin Ham has lost this team. And if I'm not in the locker room telling everybody, hey, that's our coach, we follow his lead, then nobody's going to follow his lead. Well, LeBron got the coach that he wanted because LeBron vetted J.J. Redick as the smartest guy that could coach his team, and he vetted him through his podcast. So while Stephen A. can sit here and criticize LeBron for the way he did it or the timing of when he did what he did, here's the reality. It has worked. So while we criticize LeBron for all of these things, when you have to give LeBron credit, if you're willing to criticize, you got to be willing to say when he's been right. He was wrong about Russell Westbrook. He's been right about J.J. Redick. I disagree with Stephen A. Smith.
Yeah, and what I would also say is that when you look at the way it all went down, okay, fine. I guess you can have your criticisms of it, but ultimately you're right, Cappy, and you won't hear that all that often.
Stop.
You're right.
Hard stop. Hard
Yeah.
stop. Please say that again.
Yeah. You're right, Cappy.
Mark that tape. You're on a roll.
Results
Keep going.
Trump everything. They do. They absolutely the results trump everything.
But you know what's sad?
But here, what
is if this wasn't working out, people would be killing LeBron, even
Correct.
though he made a point to distance himself.
But they are not
from
giving.
the
But
whole
Molly's
hiring
right.
process.
They're not giving him any praise.
He wasn't distanced from anything. He was involved in the whole thing the whole time, which is why it's okay to. It's funny. Instead of saying it's sad, it's like give him his. Oh God, I can't believe I'm about to say this.
Flowers.
Give him his freaking flowers. Give him a nice bouquet. George, give him some books.
Nice. Yeah, and I will say this: the Danny Hurley thing was real. Like they really did. They did not. I mean, I think that they, Cappy, saw what Stephen A. was seeing or was talking about, and they didn't like the perception that would be the case. And Danny Hurley was, back-to-back national champion, so they were doing their due diligence on that. And I will say that it was real. Because I remember while it was all going down, the NBA Finals were going on, and there was, let's just say, a lot of us were all together.
When you say
a lot of the NBA folks,
okay,
a lot of the NBA folks were together, and there was a lot of chatter about the validity of that.
The people inside, like in the league.
Yeah,
all the
lots
NBA
of in the
media.
league talk, lots of in the league dinners, late night drinks. talking about that situation.
Loose lips?
Well, you know what? But let me just tell you something.
No loose lips because it never got out.
Oh,
but I'll
that's
just
a good
tell you
point.
there was a lot of conversations now about it.
But you know what? That it was not. It was. Let me rephrase it. It was a smart
because you made
move.
it sound like when you made it sound like that was a farce.
No. What I'm saying is that the Danny Hurley thing was a last-ditch effort to say, let's compare what a two-time collegiate national championship coach is to a first-time has never coached at any level guy who LeBron wants is. Let's weigh them both out. And listen, I think in the end, I don't think that the Danny Hurley thing was going to happen because I think his contractual financial demands were a bit much for the Lakers to even really think about. And I think
especially because he was unproven at the NBA level.
Right, but for him, he was just throwing out a line like, okay, I'll tell you what, guys, if you really like me and you really want me, how's 3 years at $50 million sound? I don't remember exactly what the numbers were.
I think it was like $100 million over like a
Yeah.
number of years. Yeah.
So the point is that the Lakers had that opportunity to say, here's a two-time defending national champion in college, and here's an unproven commodity.
Yeah, it was 15. It was 15 a year. I think it was 5 for 60 or something like that.
Okay, so here's the thing: the Lakers can look right now and say, guess what? We made the right choice. Because I don't know what J.J. Redick makes. I think it's probably in the range of like $5 million a year. Maybe it's a little bit more than that, whatever the case may be. But the bottom line is that I don't think the Lakers are going to be better than they are right now with Dan Hurley than they are with J.J. Redick. J.J. Redick has proven that through his basketball resume, his acumen, and his relationship with LeBron, and some very smart maneuvering by the front office, he has a Phil Jackson quality, and I'll tell you what I mean by that. Phil Jackson, to me, his greatest strength was that he was a former player, so therefore respected, but Phil Jackson knew how to juggle and manage big egos and big personalities. It
Correct.
seems to me...
Here's what JJ got that Darvin didn't, Cappy. Buy-in. It's that simple. I've seen it. I've been up close with it. I've seen the buy-in. I've seen it on multiple levels. There is actual buy-in on the offensive side and what they plan on doing on a nightly basis. There is buy-in on the defensive side. And you've seen LeBron buy in. And JJ continually references that when they got blown out by 40-something points in Miami, that was the turning point. And so from that point on, LeBron has played elite-level defense. And that was way early in the season now when you think about it.
And when you say buy-in, remember, we disagreed on this, but when they went to Denver and they smashed Denver a few weeks ago, and JJ ran that defense that, you said, well, he may have played his cards a little too early and he may have shown Denver what he's got.
That. Yeah.
What I disagree with you, because what I believe is that that's the night if you can have a defining moment of the season, that's the night where the buy-in was bought in. You hear the way I did that?
The buy-in was bought in?
The buy-in became bought in. Right. It went from present tense to past tense.
I feel like, Cappy, did you ever watch Ted Lasso?
Of course.
I feel like you're just Ted Lassoing me right there. Like basically, the buy-in is when it was bought. It was bought. The buy-in was when it was bought in.
Right. They bought in after they bought in.
Right.
They whatever. You understand what I'm trying to say.
I mean, you should just have a sign and point. It says "Believe."
Believe. That's right. You got to have belief, and I believe that JJ created belief. You hear the way I'm doing this now? Buy in, bought in, belief, believe.
The triple B's.
It's a lot of the same words in just different forms. People, take a listen. This is what a pro does.
Listen, I don't think he will win Coach of the Year, because it probably will be Kenny Atkinson or JB Bickerstaff, and deservedly so for those guys. I would vote for JB. I know he said Bernie Bickerstaff, Stephen A., but he's thinking of his dad. JB Bickerstaff is who I would vote for, because the Detroit Pistons literally won 8 games last season.
Fair point.
Or something ridiculous
Fair point.
like that. Mm-hmm. And they're like the 5th seed or something, or close to it in the Eastern Conference. And they have an incredibly young team. So I think that, and I felt like Cleveland scapegoated him personally, because the players, for whatever reason, didn't buy in last year to JB Bickerstaff.
Well, these guys have bought in.
To bring it all back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They bought in.
Yeah.
I think he's legit.
All right,
I think
Cappy,
he's a legit candidate.
Next. You think that JJ's a legit?
100% and should be.
Coach of the year. Oh, there's no question. I mean, I think he probably finishes third if I had to guess.
Well, maybe we should run a campaign for him.
I mean, if you'd like, we can.
I don't know. I don't know if I got it in me.
JJCOY?
Coach of the year. Coy.
Yeah.
You understand that.
Yes. All right, coming up next, Radio Tinder. Then we got to get to some Dodgers, and there's all this stuff about Max Crosby and the Raiders, and what are the Raiders going to do? Now they signed Max Crosby, which is great, but what the hell are they going to do at their quarterback position?
They're going to play Max
all
Crosby
sorts
at
of stuff
quarterback.
coming up.
That's what they're going to do.
The way they're paying them, they might. All right, we'll get to all that coming up, but Radio Tinder first next.
All right, let me talk about Real Father's Rights, and let me talk about my man, Mark Real. Let's get real with Real Father's Rights. Mark Real, when he started Real Father's Rights, he understood one thing that was critically important, which was this, that when you are dealing with custody disputes in family law, more often than not, and very unfairly, the court seems to favor the female over the male. It seems to favor the mom over the dad. And it's not an opinion. There are a ton of statistical facts to back that up. It's not, hey, you know what? I'm a guy. I'm in court. The court seems to favor her. It's not just an opinion. There's a ton of data that will show you that that is the case. But, you know, if you're a dad, you belong in your kid's life. Your kid needs you in his life. You need your kid in your life. And so we are here at Real Father's Rights to help level the playing field, because if you are feeling sidelined in your child's life, we at Real Father's Rights, we want to get you the justice that you deserve. Real Father's Rights are the father's rights attorneys helping dads navigate family court. Could be child custody. Maybe it's child support. Maybe you're going through a divorce. Could be domestic violence. I hope it isn't. Restraining orders. Oh my God, what a pain in the ass a restraining order is. So if any of these things apply to you, let us help at Real Father's Rights. Whether you're in LA, Orange County, IE, San Diego, we can help. And here's our phone number. It is dedicated for just ESPN LA listeners. 833-ESPN-710, 833-ESPN-710. And here's our website. Again, just for 710 listeners. Real Father's Rights, RFR, RFR710.com. That's RFR710.com. Let's get real with Mark Real and Real Father's Rights.
The King keeps making history.
Cross court to LeBron. 3 for 50,000. It's good. LeBron goes over 50K, and the crowd comes to its feet.
50,000 career points for LeBron James, becoming the first NBA player to ever do it.
50,000 regular season and playoff points combined.
Another milestone for the King.
LeBron James.
And you heard it all right here
on the ESPN LA Lakers Radio Network. Hey guys, it's Sedano. At Los Angeles International Airport, changes are arriving daily to help reduce traffic, save travelers time, and transform the travel experience. The LAX Economy parking structure is now open with thousands of smart parking spaces, as well as hundreds of EV charging stations. Modernized terminals have biometric gates for faster boarding, and in the future, the People Mover train will connect travelers to LA Metro. For more information, go to their website, flylax.com/transforminglax. That's flylax.com/transforminglax.
Hey, you feel it? Days are getting longer, sun is getting warmer. Looks like our SoCal summer is right around the corner. Here in California, we're all about choosing chill. From hitting the beach to the best hiking trails, to going all out to support our teams. One thing really ties it all together. Enjoying it all with good friends and a cold Coors Light. Pick up Coors Light near you or get it delivered to your door today. Visit CAChooseChill.com to learn more. 2025 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
Prize Picks is the best place to get real money sports action. With over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings, Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 1,000 times your cash. You can run your game all season long on Prize Picks, and it's the best way to get action on sports in more than 30 states, including California, Texas, and Georgia. The app is super easy to use. You just create a lineup. All you have to do is pick more or less on a few players for your shot to win up to 1,000 times your money. And on Prize Picks, you can mix and match player projections on different sports. Combine your favorite basketball players with your best guys from baseball, hockey, esports, and much, much more. Prize Picks offers Venmo, Apple Pay, MasterCard for quick and easy deposits into your account this sports season. Download the app today and use code 710 to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code 710 for first-time users. Prize Picks, run your game.
Gain a global perspective and specialized skills that many of today's top employers are seeking with an MBA from University of Maryland Global Campus. Study online and complete your degree in just 16 months for about $21K. Choose from MBA specializations in global business, marketing, HR, finance, and more. Classes start March 12th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
I had the worst dream last night. You were in a car crash, and the kids and I were on our own. We had to move out of the house because I couldn't afford it anymore.
That's awful, hon.
My brother was saying he got life insurance from Ethos. With Ethos, it only took 10 minutes, and he got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day. It's all online. No medical exam. He just answered a few health questions right from his house.
Ethos, here we come.
Visit getethos.com. That's getethos.com. Sample rate is a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy, non-smoking male. Billed monthly.
Sedano and Kap for your afternoon drive.
Take a look at me. I feel like your fat is less visceral.
Oh, really?
The LA Afternoon Takeover rolls on right now.
Hey, but that's how it goes.
Yeah.
Name that TV show theme. Oh,
yeah.
Maybe you will by the end. Hang on.
Yeah. I love the jazzified version. Crazy.
I thought at the end he went, Sharon, because it's from the Osbournes.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Yeah, remember when they had a TV show?
I do remember it. I would not have gotten that song as the theme for the Osbournes.
I need to go to the bathroom.
Like, he's great. That was an entertaining show, for sure. You guys watch it?
A little bit. I mean, wasn't that kind of the beginning
in
of
bits and pieces?
It's sort of the beginning of reality TV, don't you think?
Yeah, I'd say it was early years of that, for
I
sure.
don't know about the beginning of reality TV. It was very, very much in the center of it being super popular. But
Oh, yeah?
I don't know about the beginning. Wasn't the beginning like The Real World?
Yes.
Oh, I don't think of that as the beginning, but that's interesting. I
The
hadn't
Real
thought
World's
about
definitely like the
I mean,
OG
it literally is
of
called The Real World.
it. No, I thought it was the unreal world. Not real.
when people stop being polite and start getting real.
Yeah.
It's like our show.
Cappy would have loved to have been on The Real World.
Oh, yes, you would have.
The Real World, the early days, like the late 90s, the early days of like Survivor, Big Brother, The Amazing Race. Those are all kind of like in my wheelhouse, I think.
There's a lot of people that became famous after being on The Real World. Like super famous.
Oh, yeah? Yeah,
like
like who?
Theo Vaughn.
Oh, really? He was on The Real World?
Yep, I
Oh, I didn't
remember.
know
That was one of my favorite seasons. I think it was New Orleans, maybe? And The Miz. The Miz is huge. He's like one of the biggest stars in the WWE.
I didn't know The Miz was on The Real World either.
Yep.
I didn't know that.
Yep, he was.
All right. What do we got on Radio Tinder?
All right, so this guy, I guess you could call it a victory for everybody because this guy from Indiana sued his local movie theater for showing ads for about 25 minutes from when the movie that he was supposed to see, the starting time, to when the film actually began. So he sued them for wasting his time. He also claimed that the ad...
There is way too many commercials on
Yes.
movies, for
So-
sure, when you go to the theater.
I timed it when I went to see Top Gun Maverick, and it was 17 minutes of previews.
Wow.
That's way too much. So this guy had, I guess he had 30 minutes of previews, and he also had 2 public service announcements. So he ended up actually getting money back. He got $230 in damages plus $92 for legal costs. So I guess I wanted to ask you guys, instead of having you swipe, how often do you go to the actual movie theater? And when you go, do you show up on time or go early?
Well, I don't mind. I don't care if I'm late anymore because I know it's going to be literally like 20 minutes of previews. So I don't care as much anymore. I haven't been in a long time. I took my daughter and her friends to see The Wild Robot, which was a really cute movie. A little bit of a tearjerker, I got to be honest. I wasn't ready for that. But yeah, it's been a minute. Like I saw that one. I saw Top Gun Maverick. I maybe go to the movies like once or twice a year, max now at this stage. Just not enough time.
Yeah, I feel like I wish I could remember the last movie I saw in the theater. It was probably within the last 2 years, but I don't go very often. But I did, while I've been sick here over the last few days, I did see Wicked. Have you guys seen Wicked?
No.
No.
Not a big musical person.
Any interest in seeing Wicked? Anybody?
No.
Not
DeAndre,
really.
DeAndre,
Not
this
really.
is like right up your alley,
my
man.
kids-
Wicked.
Nah, man, I'm cool.
My daughter would watch it.
Well, here's the thing. I love the Broadway show of Wicked. To be honest, and I know this is going to be unpopular because in fact, how about that for use, right? It should be popular. Honestly, the costumes, amazing. The set, incredible. The singing and the story, I didn't love it. I'm not saying I hated it. I'm just saying I didn't love it. And then the only thing that bothered me is at the end when they're like, to be continued. I'm like, continued? I just spent 3 hours watching this thing. You guys couldn't wrap this up?
Movies these days are too long. Like anything more than like an hour and 30 minutes, I'm going to see. Like,
well, that's why kids' movies are great.
Right. Like I'll look and see like what the runtime is, and if something's more than like an hour and 30 minutes, I'm like, no, I'll wait. I went and saw Nosferatu. That was the last movie I saw. And
yeah, that looked interesting.
Yeah, we gave it like 15 minutes before like the actual start time because, nowadays you can reserve your seats ahead of time. So you can just show up like right when, the previews are ending. And it worked out. Timing worked out.
Yeah, last movie I saw, I wish I could remember what it was, but there was definitely 15 to 20 minutes of previews.
There's a very funny SNL sketch about that Garth Brooks was guest hosting, and they like turn into cannibals because they're in the movie theater for so long. It's really funny. They play like the preview song over and over again. It's pretty great.
Maybe he's got to go to one of those like Sinopolis or ArcLights or something where they have good food. They don't have to eat each other.
Yes, 100%. All right, so next one here. This one kind of made me think of you guys, since you're all guys, and feel like we're all pretty honest about weird things like this here, especially you, Cappy.
Tell me.
Turns out that nearly a quarter of Americans pee in the shower on a regular basis.
Okay.
According to new research. A survey of 2,000 people in the general American population revealed that 12% do so daily and 12% do a couple times a week. 1/4 of millennials even indicated peeing in the shower is a daily practice.
Daily?
Yeah.
That's gross.
Compared to 15% of Gen X and 6% of baby boomers. Side note, one of my friends who was in the Army used to tell me that he didn't wash his feet in the shower because he always peed in the shower, and he said he thought that disinfected his feet. Isn't that gross?
No, it's fine.
So anyway, in total, 45% of Americans pee in the shower throughout the course of the average year. Do you guys pee in the shower? Swipe left or swipe right? I know what your answer is, Cappy.
I have.
Ew, gross, George.
I have. It's not something I practice regularly.
I was going to say, do you regularly pee in the shower?
No.
Swipe left for George. How about you, Cappy?
Everybody take a guess.
You for sure.
Every time.
For sure, every time.
Every
I don't know about
single
every
time, no matter what shower
if you gotta
I'm
go,
in.
If you got to go, yeah. I bet you would.
No. Here's the thing. When the water runs, it makes you want to pee. Okay? So I pee in my shower. I pee in Rachel's shower. George, if I came over to your house and I said, George, can I grab a shower? I'd pee in your shower.
No.
Okay?
No, because the answer would be no. Then
When I
can't go to my shower.
When I live in the East Central across the way, I pee in their showers. When I was in a locker room every day, I peed in that shower. There is not a shower that I take ever where I'm not peeing. And I will just say this. Like, I go to Rachel's house, right? And sometimes I'll take a shower in her bathroom. And she might be in the bathroom, like at her sink or doing something, and we're talking and I'm showering. I turn around and I pee in her shower, so she doesn't even know I'm peeing in her shower, even though I think she knows that I'm peeing in her shower. I pee in every shower that I take every day. Period.
Thanks for being honest, Cap.
Is that gross?
I mean, I don't think it's really
time
like
is
that.
a lot.
Every
That
time.
seems excessive.
Every shower I take, I pee in it.
If you're peeing at the end of the shower,
I guess
when you're
it's all
already
going to
clean, then maybe it's kind of like weird. But
I pee at the beginning.
I guess. Right. Why didn't you just go to the toilet then if you have to
I was going to ask.
Why? Why waste the water?
Have you ever gotten out
Wait,
of
but
the
you're
shower
already
to
wasting
pee?
water.
No, I'm in the shower and I pee. Why do I have to flush the toilet and waste the water?
Right, but you're still wasting water by peeing because you have to let the water run to drain the pee.
But the water's already running.
Right, but it still takes extra time.
I just want to be clear. I'm not standing outside the shower with the water running and peeing in the shower. I'm showering.
Of course. I understand the concept.
I mean, I'm with you on this one, Cappy. I think you're right.
What, you pee in the shower?
I peed in the shower. Yeah, who doesn't
Not-
pee in
not-
the shower?
Okay, so-
I don't make it a point to. I was going to ask you. Do you ever get out of the shower?
If you gotta go, you gotta
Yeah.
go. I get it.
Do
But
you ever get out of the shower to
Never.
go pee in the toilet?
Never.
Seems kind of impractical, doesn't it?
Is there anybody?
No, that part of it too. But if you were about to take a shower, you're like, I got to take a shower here in a minute, and you're like, oh, I got to pee. You would go to the toilet first, right?
You're right. I would, especially when I'm bathing my dog, because I can't pee. If I'm, my dog's in the shower with me, you can't pee in the shower. So yes, you're right, George.
I think that
Yeah,
Graham
wait a second. Isn't your dog in the shower with you?
Yes, that's why I just said if I had.
No,
to
I'm talking
pee-
about Cappy.
Oh,
No, my
yeah.
dog's not in the shower with me every time I shower, and if he was, I'll pee right on him.
You've peed on your dog in the shower?
I'm just saying if he gets in the way.
Wait, so you're admitting you've peed on your dog in the shower?
No, that's not what I'm
Okay,
admitting.
this
I'm
is
saying
not
I
going to
might.
go the way we want it to go. How about we just kind of move on here at this point?
Can someone just do this?
Let's
I just want
end
somebody.
Radio Tinder right now.
I just want somebody in the back. I want somebody in social, somebody running YouTube to put up a YouTube poll. Real simple. Do you pee in the shower? Yes or no? Results at the end of the show.
Sure, but let's not talk about the act on anything. How about that? Other than
Yeah, you're
yourself
right. I
in the
feel like
shower.
there's some kind of rule with that. We were probably.
What about
Let's
the
just
ground?
not do that.
What about the ground in the
The
shower?
ground is fine too. Yes, I remember you had what was it you were using? What kind of urine you were using to keep coyotes away or something?
Yeah, I was using coyote urine to keep away the skunk.
Oh, coyote urine to keep skunks away.
Right.
Yes, exactly. Yes. All right, that's Radio Tinder, folks. That's how it is. That's how it ends right there. In the interim,
Yeah.
the Dodgers, Cappy, Roki Sasaki
Mm-hmm.
had a successful outing. Let's talk about that. Plus your boy Dave Roberts. Really candid Dave Roberts about the way he felt about last season during the season. So, and even chatting about how he didn't know if he had the job security that people may have thought he had. We'll get to all that in a moment.
Monday night in Chicago, Kings captain Anze Kopitar scored his 14th goal of the season in the last game of the 3-game road trip.
And into the neutral zone comes Kempe. Took that shot to the face earlier. He's left wing and left circle. Kopitar scores! Anze Kopitar ties this game up with 8:21 to play here in period one.
Tonight, Kopitar and the Kings return to Los Angeles, where they posted the NHL's best home record this season. It's the Kings and the St. Louis Blues. Listen live at 7 on the all-new ESPN.
I showed up at the hospital and was told I couldn't see my children. Then I showed up in court and was told they may not be mine. Then I was accused of anything and everything. Sexual assault, domestic violence, substance abuse. You name it, I heard it. I was forced to go long periods of time without seeing my children. That experience of being wrongfully treated ignited something in me. I can look at a father and honestly tell him, I know how he is feeling. I've been there. At Real Fathers Rights, we care about your family, your livelihood, and your future.
Monday night in Chicago, Kings captain Anze Kopitar scored his 14th goal of the season in the last game of the 3-game road trip.
And into the neutral zone comes Kempe. Took that shot to the face earlier. He's left wing and left circle. Kopitar scores! Anze Kopitar ties this game up with 8:21 to play here in period one.
Make it happen, Cap, and they were needing something big from their captain, and he led the way. Gets a nice feed here from Turcotte, takes it on the backhand, and puts it just inside the post. The entire line will have an impact on that.
Tonight, Kopitar and the Kings return to Los Angeles, where they posted the NHL's best home record this season. It's the Kings and the St. Louis Blues. Listen live at 7 on the all-new ESPN LA app.
Harbor Freight. Valid until 3/9/25 while supplies last. Limitations apply, so spring in before it's over.
National University honors those who have broken barriers and paved the way for future generations. If you're a parent and a professional, a dreamer and a doer, NU is here to support you. With flexible online classes and career-focused resources, you can earn your degree while balancing work, family, and everything in between. Empower your future today at nu.edu. That's nu.edu.
This is Sedano and Kap on 710. Yeah. Sedano and Kap continues.
Really?
Right now.
Yeah.
Oh, come on now.
Yeah.
Cappy, guess who this is?
I
He
think
is
it's
an Oscar award-winning actor.
Oh, really? Oh, I thought this was like Will.i.am. I
No,
thought
no,
this
no,
was
no,
Black
no,
Eyed
no, I'm
Peas.
sorry. No. Yeah, it is Black Eyed Peas. You're right.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I thought it was Jamie Foxx for a second.
Come on,
It is Black Eyed
man.
Peas. It's Fergie.
Come on, dude.
I thought this was the beginning of Blame It on the Rain.
It ain't
Or
Blame It on the
whatever
Rain.
it's called. Not
I'm
Blame
a
It on the
bee.
Rain,
I'm a
Blame It.
bee. There's my girl Fergalicious. Tell him, Ferg. Yeah. Yeah.
Look at you, Cappy. The rare W for you and rare L for me on the music. Rare W.
I love the
Rare
Black Eyed
W,
Peas.
right?
I do love the Black Eyed Peas.
Yeah,
I really do.
Cappy.
I mean, DeAndre, you ain't know nothing about no Black Eyed Peas.
Oh, please stop.
Please stop what?
I know everything about the Black Eyed Peas.
About Fergalicious?
Oh, of course. Come on now.
You know she be up in the gym just working on her fitness?
That's right.
He my witness. I do love the Black Eyed Peas. I've seen the Black Eyed Peas a couple times in concert. Very good. Very, very good.
Was Fergie good? Because she doesn't seem like she's she seems to struggle with her live singing.
Is that right?
I mean,
Remember she had that awful All-Star game thing.
Yeah.
The anthem that time?
Yep.
That was pretty bad.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I like Will.i.am. I like Fergie. I don't know the other two dudes' names. What's the other two guys' names in the Black Eyed Peas?
I met him. The
What's his
Hispanic
name?
guy.
C3PO? Is it C3PO? Is that his name?
No.
It's not C3PO? Who's he?
What is his name?
Who he
What
play
is his
for?
name?
He's the gold robot from Star Wars, Cap.
Oh, he is?
Taboo
C3PO?
is his name.
Taboo.
is the guy. Yes.
Taboo. Now there's another guy.
Yes, there is another guy.
Yeah,
But Taboo
Tanucci.
is,
It's not little
Taboo,
Tanucci.
Taboo is the Hispanic guy.
Yeah, the guy with the straight hair. And who's the other brother in the band?
I think
Taboo, Will.i.am,
another guy.
Fergalicious, and there's a fourth dude. There's a fourth P. Speaking of in the
DeAndre's
shower.
looking at it, but he doesn't know how to pronounce what he says.
Yeah, C3PO, right?
He's a Filipino guy. No, it's like Apple the App or something
Yes,
like that.
yes.
yeah,
Apple
that's
the
how you
App.
pronounce it.
Apple the App. Yes.
Yeah.
Shout out to Apple the App.
There you go.
Shout out to apples.
And the app.
Shout out to all fruit and apps.
Yeah,
Shout out to all
listen
fruit.
to it on the ESPN LA app for that matter. Yeah. All right, Cappy.
Talk to me.
Roki Sasaki looked really good.
Oh yeah?
Did you watch him at all or no? You see
Not
at least
one
the
bit.
highlights?
Not yes. So I know the numbers. I know what he did. But in terms of watching, I'm going to make an admission here and judge me if you must. Okay? Just like preseason football, just like preseason basketball, spring training baseball for me goes into the same bucket. I don't really watch. I did see Sasaki's debut.
We were watching actually in studio yesterday.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, it was on while we were on.
Oh, Greg just left. We forgot to ask him if he watched it. Because he was
Oh,
he was
right.
out
Did he
sick
give anybody
yesterday.
the hand? Yeah. Well, he was sick. Yeah, so definitely.
he was definitely watching it. Yeah.
Yeah. I saw the numbers. 3 innings pitched, no runs, 2 hits, 5 strikeouts, 1 walk. So impressive, good, solid. But
Kid was basically throwing 100 miles per hour out there.
Do you guys really? I mean, I'm being serious. Do you guys watch spring training baseball? Other than like, hey,
Yeah,
you're
I
in
do.
studio and it's on.
I like throwing on spring training baseball, especially if I got nothing going on and I'm just like chilling at the house and like maybe baseball's the perfect sport to just throw on in the background. Because if something actually happens, you could just look up.
Yeah, I'm getting my mind onto gosh, here it comes. Like baseball season is happening here at the end of March. Right now, I've got my mind so wrapped up into the Lakers and the NBA. And then even today with such a big news day in the NFL, I have not really started to focus on, oh, wow, baseball season's about to start. I used to go to spring training every year. I
almost went this weekend when I was in Arizona. The Dodgers had a spring split squad, and I was going to go to one of them. I just didn't. And then I was like, man, you know what? Do I want to get in the car and then go and like? Because my thing is like, I could only go for like 90 minutes. You know what I mean? So like, did I want to spend like $70 on a ticket to just go for 90 minutes?
Answer
and then
no.
buy the food.
That's crazy
Hold on, Mateo, what do you need, bro?
What's up, Mateo?
We're watching you on the big TV.
You watching me on the big TV? Okay. You watching the YouTube?
Yeah, it's like what Mom was watching.
Okay, cool.
Wait, Mom's watching?
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Hi, Kelly.
Hi, Kelly.
Hi, Kelly.
DeAndre waved.
All right,
Michelle
see you,
waved
bud.
to her.
How about you close the door, please?
You know, it's funny that Mateo says that he's watching the show on the big TV. Hi, Kelly. I'm having a real TV problem today, and it's really pissing me off, man. Really pissing me off. My TV in my office, when it's not on, it has a little red light in the bottom of the corner of the TV, which indicates the TV's not on.
Right.
Well, the red light is not on, and I go to use the remote control, and I can't turn the TV on. And all of a sudden, the red light will come on, and then I can turn the TV on, and then the TV turns off. I don't know what the deal is. And so the thing is that I'm not man enough to actually take the TV off the wall and off the bracket to try and diagnose what is the problem. Is the TV toast? Is it done?
It sounds like it's dying.
Or maybe that there's an extension cord that goes from the TV and it runs down and it plugs into like a surge protector. And so maybe there's something wrong with the plug, with the cord. Maybe there's a short. So something's wrong somewhere. And again, herein lies the bigger part of the problem, which is I'm not man enough to actually pull this TV off the wall.
That's not that hard, though, Cappy.
Is it blinking or is it just...
It's dead. There's no red light anymore.
So you're saying, though, then when you hit the remote, the red light comes on?
No, I'm saying it doesn't come on. I'm saying the TV
Well, why don't
has
you
no
do this?
power. Yeah, what?
Take the extension cord and plug it into another outlet.
Fair point. However, you
don't have to take it off the wall to do that.
Right, but the surge protector, George, that has the plug in it, has the printer plug in it, and the printer is on. So I know that the red light is on the surge protector, so I know that there is power going to the surge protector. So all the other components that are in the surge protector, they all work. But the Samsung that's hanging on the wall has no red light, has no power. So is it the TV is dead, which if that's the case, I need to know so I can replace it, or...
Well, I just told you the easiest fix in the world. Just unplug it and plug it somewhere else.
Or have you tried turning it on without the remote, just pressing the button?
Lindsay Baseball, great question.
Because it could be the remote.
The answer is yes. But no, what you're missing is that the red light, which indicates that the TV's live but it's off, is not on. There's no red light. So George,
when you go to turn it on with the button, manually, not using the remote,
right? Nothing, dead.
Nothing. Okay,
right.
then so you either have a loose cord, and if you don't have a loose cord, then the TV's dead.
Right, but George, you're saying take the plug out of the surge protector and put it into another outlet, right?
Right. Just see maybe if it's the cord or the surge protector, or try a different. If you plug it into somewhere else and it's still not working, then switch out the extension cord. Try that. And then plug it into either outlet and see if that works.
But how do you explain the other things that are in the surge protector all getting power?
The only explanation then is that if you have
maybe your extension cord is not good.
Right.
So
try
a different extension cord. The power cord is not plugged in all the way. Maybe
I think there's one of two things at work here. Either the power cord is not working, or the TV is dead. I think it's one of those two things.
Or the extension cord, because you said you had an extension cord, too, that ran to the outlet.
Exactly. So something's wrong, and it's pissing me off.
So there's three options. Either the power cord, the extension cord, or the actual TV's dead. Yes.
I mean, can you imagine what it is, people? Can you imagine what it is to live in a world where you're not man enough to just take the TV off the wall?
You don't need to take the TV off the wall. We just explained to you what
the
three options are.
But I can't get to the back of the TV to unplug the extension cord from the TV.
You don't have the thing that pulls out?
What
like
pulls
a bracket
out?
that pulls out?
Oh no,
The
I don't.
bracket?
I have more of the bracket that's like on the wall. The bracket doesn't like pull off the wall.
There's your problem.
There is a big problem.
That's like the cheapo bracket. You gotta like pony up for like the $60.
Yeah, dude, it's like an extra $25, bro.
Well,
Like,
I
what are
mean,
you
I
doing?
guess. Well, you guys know me. I mean, I'm cheap. What can I tell you? I know.
Cap, I actually have one from when I moved. You can use mine.
I know, but
yeah.
But then, Lindsay, I'm not man enough to install it.
Right. Just
I could do it.
Go have
You're
someone
man
do
enough.
it for you. But by the way,
Yes.
you got a lot of stuff at your house. I'm sure that could go differently. And for those that actually need a house, you should tell them about Seller's Advantage.
I would love to. Nice job, George. Very, very nice job, as a matter of fact. Hey, guys, if you want to sell your home, now is a great time to sell your house. And you ask, well, why is now such a great time to sell my house? You know, I keep hearing about how interest rates are so high and how are people getting loans. Let me explain to you why now is such a great time. Because we all know what has happened in L.A. County in the beginning of this new year, and there are literally thousands of people that need homes. So if you have been thinking to yourself, I'm going to sell, I just don't know when, now would be a really good time because A, you can get top dollar, and B, you can help another family. Now, everybody has a different reason for selling, but here's what I do want to remind everybody. No matter what your reason is for selling, you can get, again, a very, very competitive cash offer from Seller's Advantage. They come into your house, they look around, they know what the comps are in the neighborhood, they make you a competitive cash offer, and then it's your decision. You want it or you don't. And by the way, they buy as is. That means you don't have to clean the carpets, you don't have to paint the walls, you don't have to fix a hole, you don't have to clean things up. They want to buy your house as is. And if you're ready to sell, they will make this thing fast. You don't have to worry about contracts falling through. You don't have to worry about complicated closing processes. Seller's Advantage has been making sellers happy for decades, and they've got all the reviews to prove it. So call them today and get that no-obligation offer, 888-390-AS-IS, 888-390-AS-IS, 888-390-2747, or check them out online, sellersadvantage.com.
You never expect a massive trade between superstar players or getting into an accident. Hey, it's Trav with DeMarco.
There's only one team you can call on to play defense for you, the personal injury law offices of Joseph S. Normand. Visit normandlegal.com or call this number, 213-747-2000. That's 213-747-2000.
Visit normandlegal.com or call 213-747-2000. That's 213-747-2000. Let Joseph and his team score the winning shot for you.
Hey, Southern California, I'm Ty Pennington, you know, the home guy. Teaming up with Pechanga Resort Casino to give away a brand new house. Imagine yourself in a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom home in incredible Temecula, California. All you need to do is play your favorite slots or table games at Pechanga Resort Casino. The more you play, the more entries you earn. Visit Pechanga.com or call 888-PECHANGA for complete details on Home Sweet Win.
Rules and conditions apply. Go to Pechanga.com for more details.
The CONCACAF Nations League finals arrive at SoFi Stadium March 20th to 23rd. USA versus Panama, followed by Canada versus Mexico. Get your tickets now on Ticketmaster. For more information, visit CONCACAFNationsLeague.com/tickets.
Hey, it's Mace. Looking for some fun? Dive into Chumba Casino, your ultimate destination for free, fun-to-play social casino games. Play slots, bingo, and more whenever and wherever you want. With new games dropping every week, there's always something fresh. Lounge on the sofa or play on the go. Play now at ChumbaCasino.com.
Available only to players in the U.S., excluding Washington, Michigan, Montana, Connecticut, and Nevada, and Canada, excluding Quebec. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
710 ESPN, your home for the 17-time world champion Lakers.
KSPN Los Angeles, a good karma brands radio station. This is the city, Los Angeles, California. It's 5 p.m. in the Southland. Turn it up, man. Time to blow that 5 o'clock whistle with Sedano and Cappy.
That's right, it's the 5 o'clock hour on Sedano and Kap. And it's time for 30 minutes non-stop.
Sedano and Kap on 710 ESPN.
With fun and frivolity, tomfoolery and hijinks, and Cappy doing his thing. Thanks to our friends at Real Father's Rights. Real Father's Rights, the father's rights attorney.
Visit RFR710.com or call 833-ESPN-710.
Let's do it, 5 o'clock in the Southland.
30 minutes of non-stop Sedano and Kap starts now.
You ready for this?
And time for the Real Father's Rights 5 o'clock hour on 710 ESPN. Let's do it, Jack!
Yeah. Nah. Bing, ba da bop. Do, dee da dee. Bing, ba da bop. Tick, 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 do. Boom, ba da bop. Bing, ba da bop. Ba da bop. Ding.
Are you imitating Trudell?
I am.
Lindsay?
Just so Cappy for reference.
I understand. Trudell
should have found the audio.
We'll have him do it live tomorrow.
There you go.
I heard Trudell was really upset yesterday.
Oh, because of Lindsay was saying the Vikings weren't that good, and he got all bent out of shape.
No, timeout. That is not what happened. We were talking about just like Sam Darnold and whether or not they should keep blah, blah, blah. Anyway, whether or not the Rams, he said, I think that the Vikings were significantly better than the Rams and the Lions. And I said,
That's
really?
when he started, right? So,
and I said, I think that the Rams and the Lions are significantly better than the Vikings. And he went to like the regular season record.
You did compare the Vikings to the Raiders, though.
Yes.
Right, and then he came back and he did a mea culpa and said, well, at least we're not the Raiders.
Oh, wow. Well, good thing I wasn't there yesterday because as Raider Cap, I'm not going to stand for that sort of slander.
Right, yeah.
Raider Cap ain't going to have that.
Yeah, Raider Cap should be hoping Shaduer Sanders ends up at 6 or something like that.
I'm not.
You don't want him, Raider Cap? As a Raider fan, Cappy, you don't want Shaduer Sanders?
Not really.
Why not?
Cappy doesn't like Shaduer.
I don't
think...
think...
You used to be so... You were so obsessed with Dion, and you were like Team Dion. I mean, you guys have the same sunglass guy.
Well, no, he didn't like Dion at first. He flipped.
Yes,
then he
exactly.
went from didn't liking him to loving him, but he's never really been big on Shaduer, I feel like.
Well, we coming. So I do love Coach Prime. I got soured on Shaduer this year. A couple of things happened. The first
Does
one...
it have to do with the blunders?
No, it has to do with two different episodes. One episode was when Shaduer, Colorado was playing Colorado State. And here's the reality. Colorado is considered like the big-time football program in Colorado, especially under Coach Prime. And Colorado State, they're a bunch of little nobodies.
Oh, this was the guy who was talking trash to him, and then he didn't give him the time of day later.
We ain't coming no more.
Yeah, so what? I thought it was
That's exactly
classless.
what happened.
Yeah, no, I thought it was classless by Shaduer.
Wait, it was classless, or was it classless? Why was the guy talking smack then, and then trying to be his boy?
It was, well, first of all, it was pregame hype, number one, and it wasn't overly ridiculous, and it certainly wasn't necessarily disrespectful to him as an individual.
That's subjective.
Okay, and then afterwards, it's like, hey, you guys won, so I've got my tail between my legs. Congratulations. And then Shaduer, instead of just shaking his hand and being like, hey, nice game, good job, being a good sport, he wasn't. Okay, fine.
Okay,
to me,
but you're missing the point where the guy wasn't a good sport on the front end.
Well, I guess I'll just say it like this. Fair point, but it's like these guys from Colorado State, they were the little guy who gave them this great fight the year before. And remember, it was the coach from Colorado State, this is 2 years ago,
who had talked smack
complained
about Dion.
Right. How dare you not take your sunglasses off and look me in the eye, blah, blah, blah. The other part of it was when Cam Ward and Shaduer were working out, and there's this famous video where Cam Ward is kind of giving Shaduer some business about how he doesn't work as hard as Cam does. I don't know. To me, I feel like Shaduer Sanders is listen, he may turn out to be a great NFL quarterback. And for his sake, I hope he is. I don't hate the kid. I mean, not at all. I'm not hating on the guy. I just don't
But you know that Cam and him are tight, right?
I understand that these two guys are tight, but I also understand that they're tight enough that Cam could kind of tell him straight up to his face. He don't have to suck up to him. Hey, you're Coach Prime's kid, and you've been given all these advantages, and I'm here to tell you that I'm outworking you. So I like Cam Ward better of the two of them in this quarterback class. I'm also just not positive. And again, he may prove me that I'm wrong. I'm not positive that Shaduer Sanders is, say, like a Jaden Daniels, right? That he's a top 2 quarterback.
Well, there probably isn't a Jaden Daniels right there in this draft, right?
Okay, so do you guys think that how would you compare Shaduer Sanders?
I would say this: if we went into last year's guys, okay,
Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels,
right,
Bo Nix, and Michael Penix,
right. If all those guys were in this draft, and you had also Shaduer and Cam, I still think Caleb and Jaden go 1 or 2, right? I still think Drake May goes ahead of them.
I forgot to mention him.
Yeah. And then I would say maybe J.J. McCarthy. Then you have you can have a conversation about the rest of them. But I think that at best they're the fourth quarterback taken in this. If all those guys were in the same draft class.
Yeah, I guess for me, if I'm, and look, maybe the Raiders will get Shaduer Sanders. And by the way, if the Raiders do get Shaduer Sanders, I'm going to become a big Shaduer fan.
Well, you know who's been Shaduer's mentor since he was a kid, right?
As I understand it, it's Tom Brady.
Your boyfriend, yes.
That's right.
So
Raider Cappy.
Is it more of you don't think that he has the talent, or is it more of you don't like his attitude?
I'm not 100% sure he has all the talent, number one. I think he's good.
Right. To me, that is a more fair criticism. Yeah. I don't care that he's cocky. Who gives a crap?
No, I don't know that he's as talented to become a top one or two quarterback. I think that it's just a weaker quarterback class than, for example, last year where you've got 5 guys that go in the first round. So guys get drafted because teams need quarterbacks, and this is the best available this year. So that's, to me, why Shaduer Sanders and Cam Ward are both going to be the 1 and the 2 of the quarterbacks. So there's that part of it. There's a question mark still for me on that. I would love for him to be just an ounce more humble, but I also understand where he comes from. And Coach Prime was never exactly the most humble guy before he was Coach Prime, and he was primetime, Neon Dion. So I get, where he comes from, who he was around his whole life, how he was raised, et cetera, et cetera. And so I understand why he is the way he is.
Can you guys compare? Because I don't remember when Dion was drafted. I don't.
Oh, man.
It's too little.
Oh, dude, I remember there's this story that Dion ran out of the combine. After he finished running, he ran right out the building, allegedly, right into a limo or something like that, if I recall correctly.
Oh, Dion, when he was coming out of Florida State, this is probably 88, 89, 90, somewhere in that neighborhood. Lindsay, there was nobody quite like Deion Sanders in terms of personality and ability to back it up. I mean, he had a big mouth like Muhammad Ali, but he backed it up seemingly every time. And he was also already a guy who was a multi-sport star. He had his choice. He could have done whatever he wanted to. Everybody talks about Bo Jackson historically and how great of an athlete Bo Jackson was because of his antics on the field for football and baseball. People forget how truly great Deion Sanders was to be able to go from playing in a football game to getting on a plane and going and playing in a baseball playoff game. Deion Sanders, again, you guys can go back, you can look at the history, you can battle it out yourselves, but Deion Sanders is right there. There are 2 of the greatest athletes that the world has ever known, Bo Jackson and Deion Sanders. They're both right there.
So with Shaduer, correct me if I'm wrong, there isn't as much, nowhere near as much hype, which is crazy in the world today with social media and everything. There's way more hype around Deion for being just talented and gifted as an athlete, right?
Yeah, I don't think... I would say that people look at Shaduer and they go, hey, he's probably one of the top 2 quarterbacks in the class, and the class just isn't that strong. Where do we go? Where do we start with this, though? I don't actually recall. Again, a little bit of what I'm calling brain fog related to the flu. So should I call it flu fog, George, or should I just call it brain fog?
I would say flu fog.
Yeah, flu fog is probably a little bit better because it explains where the fog is coming from.
Well, we were talking about,
by the way,
the combine being this past weekend, and one of the things we brought up yesterday, the idea that teams were calling him arrogant and brash, and
yeah, cool. I like that.
But there's a difference between cocky and confident, because remember how we were talking about Baker Mayfield? That was a red flag.
Well, let me ask you guys this question. What did people say last year?
Well, I think the bigger red flag from Baker was that he, didn't he have that incident at Oklahoma where he, ran away from the cops or something like that?
Yeah, that happened. How would you compare Caleb Williams? Did people say that Caleb Williams was cocky and was
yes,
brash, or did they say that he was soft because he was crying to his mom after a game?
They said both.
Both.
Okay. What did they say about
the
Jaden
combine
Daniels?
is also nonsense.
Well,
they said that Jaden Daniels was too quiet at the combine. That was the big criticism.
Okay, well, I like that. I like his game.
I feel like the flashy, brash, if you want to call them guys, often, you got to back it up, right? Somewhat. And I feel like
Cam Ward is cocky as hell. I don't know what,
Yeah, but you don't hear about it. You don't hear about, you don't hear that.
Oh, my God. I don't know, man.
I have
he in a game against Florida, the first game of the season, he literally told the Florida Gators what they were going to run, and they scored a touchdown.
I just mean like from like the media and like, like the talking head standpoint, because you know him, bro.
Well, that's just it. I can't believe he didn't. I know him, bro, earlier. I mean, if George, as he knows, if you played in the ACC, I know you, bro, and he played in the ACC,
right. But
and he beat up on Florida.
I just think that this is all nonsense, though. Like the underwear Olympics and the overanalyzation of guys, like it's just so stupid. Well, no sport does this like the NFL. And by the way, they're wrong half the time anyway in the first round.
Let me tell you something right now. I had very, very, very little interest in the NFL scouting combine last week. I have adopted the Sean McVay opinion of the combine.
I agree.
If the Rams don't go to the combine, there is no reason for me to sit around and watch the NFL Network talk about the combine, watch guys run 40s, watch guys run drills. But what happened last week between Ian Rappaport and what is the dude's name whose dad owns Starbucks?
Jordan Schultz. I knew that's all you cared about.
That's all I cared about. Like, to me, that was way more exciting than the combine. Come on, right? Way more exciting. Two reporters fighting. One guy says there's no coincidence that
at a
Matthew
Starbucks
Stafford,
when the other guy's dad owns Starbucks.
Right.
Ironic.
And then Ian Rappaport crying to NFL security. Oh my God, I work for the NFL.
Wait, whoa.
What?
I mean,
What do you mean,
crying? What is he crying about?
Because he said that he felt that he was threatened, that he felt that Jordan Schultz threatened him. Well, I mean, tough
listen.
guy. You're gonna go out there and you're gonna try and discredit somebody's report. Somebody walks up to you and they say, "Hey, let's have a conversation."
He did end up being right, though.
He ended up being right 100%.
Who? Ian Rappaport?
Yeah.
Wait.
Yes, his reporting was the accurate one.
Wait, so they just the reporting about they ran into each other, or the reporting about he would go back to the Rams?
All of it.
Because
this wasn't like some planned thing with him and Tom Brady.
Oh, okay.
That Brady didn't invite him over or none of that. Like, that was not true.
All not true. All has been proven to be false.
Yes, according to reporting. Others reporting beyond Ian Rappaport's, yes.
Well, you see, when I like juicy stories, okay, I like when two reporters get into a fight.
You don't care if it's accurate. You
No,
just
of
want
course
it to
not.
be interesting.
Right, of course.
What's the drama?
Right, yes. So here's how I see things. You ready? Here's a kid who's ultra wealthy because his dad owns Starbucks, and he decides to become an NFL reporter because, hey, it's a fun hobby because I'm already ultra wealthy because my dad owns Starbucks. And then you have Ian Rappaport who says, well, your reporting is no good. And so once the kid in his dad's place walks up to him and goes, hey, bro, we got a problem here? Like, you want to try and discredit me? And then,
well, but I don't necessarily think he went out and said his reporting was crap or whatever it is you said. He just had his own report that said that's not accurate. This is what sources are telling me. Which, by the way, he wasn't the only one that had that same reporting. And yeah, so I mean, if Jordan Schultz, who I don't know very well but seems like a nice guy, is going to take umbrage with somebody reporting something different than him, I don't know if this is the profession you should be in if that's the case.
Well, I'm on the side of Jordan Schultz, and oh, by the way, because I like juicy stories.
Why is that? Why are you the side of Jordan Schultz?
Because I believe his reporting, which is this is not just some random meetup in Montana. These two guys got together. That was my belief, and I believed him on his reporting. And so then, of course, Rappaport says no, but
even though multiple people have also reported and corroborated the story, Ian Rappaport has.
Correct. Because here's why. This is important, George. Because you see, for me, I turn off at the moment where I'm satisfied with the story. So I was satisfied with what I'd heard. I'd heard that Schultz said this, Rappaport said this. They met face-to-face in a Starbucks. One guy says to the other guy, hey, bud, you got a problem. And the next guy is calling NFL security because he works for the NFL Network and he feels threatened. Don't call NFL security. There he is. You got something to say to him? Say it to him.
Yeah, but I feel like what Jordan Schultz did was kind of out of pocket because Ian Rappaport, there was nothing like personal. He just said, I'm told blah, 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 blah is what happened despite contrary reports. He wasn't like, he didn't quote tweet the guy.
He didn't call him out by name. He didn't do any of that. He just said, look, there's this report out there, and contrary to that report, here's what I'm hearing.
You know, you guys are just destroying the story for me. You're just killing
with the
me.
Rams, and everyone said it was never even like it got closer with the Giants, and him considering the Giants because they were willing to part with the draft capital or whatever that the Rams would have wanted and also meet Stafford's salary requirements. However, Stafford chose to stay in LA. So my guess is if that's the case, then he probably was never really close to going to the Raiders.
Boy, you guys just raining on my parade. Can't I have a little bit of fun? Can't I just watch two NFL reporters have beef in a Starbucks? Can't I just enjoy the story?
It kind of reminded me of your beef, Cappy.
Kind of reminded me of my beef as well.
Why didn't you call ESPN security when Fortenbaugh and you had your little thing?
Yeah, you are the Ian Rappaport in your story.
Well, I'll tell you this right now. I disagree.
No,
I think I'm the Jordan Schultz in my story.
You're right. Now that I think of it, you're right.
And here's the thing. And the reason I didn't call ESPN security is because I was standing right there going.
And do we even know that Ian Rappaport called security? Like, do we know this?
Well, that has been
or did you just make
reported.
That up?
Well, I may have made it up, but I thought it was reported. Maybe I reported it.
It was reported.
I don't recall that part of the story.
Oh, I believe so. I believe that's the case. I believe that was part of the story. Is that Ian Rappaport?
I mean, Charles Barkley. That was reported.
It was
too.
reported. Yeah, I saw something like that too. That security had to get involved.
Security.
Well, I mean, how aggressive did he come at him?
There's a really funny picture that Awful Announcing tweeted, and like he just has this bleep eating grin on his face.
Who? Which one?
Jordan Schultz guy. Like, hey, buddy. Like super passive aggressive. Like, hey, we got a problem here, pal.
Yeah.
Like, what's his name? That's in The Hangover and Vince. What's his name?
Vaughn.
Yes, he looks like Vince Vaughn. Like super passive aggressively. It's very funny.
Although I don't think Vince Vaughn is in The Hangover.
Listen, I don't know Jordan Schultz
Okay,
at all.
sorry.
Like I've had like very nice interactions with him on social media, but I don't think that's how you handle these situations. Like if it indeed went down like that.
And plus, he's a guy who, like you said,
and by
Cappy,
the way,
he's just
you
a rich
love
guy
this
who's
stuff,
bored.
Cappy.
Yeah, I love it.
You love this stuff. I bet you our audience cares like literally less than 0% about this.
Well, here's the thing. I think that this all started with who cares about the combine. See, this is my point. Is that all
Pat
I cared
McAfee
about?
did like an hour on this topic when he was at the combine. So you have a point.
Well, all I know is this. The combine, not overly interesting. The only thing I found interesting is two reporters having a beef. That I liked.
Yeah.
To me, that's
the
entertainment.
Vice President of the Handsome Man community says, football's over, bro. The combine and pro days are way overrated and meaningless. It's basketball season and baseball coming up, Jack.
Oh, really? The Vice President of the Handsome Man community, huh? You did?
I added the Jack.
You mean you misquoted the Vice President of the Handsome Man community?
I took some liberties. How about that?
Oh, you did. You did. Hey, speaking of basketball season, I'm really surprised. Like tomorrow night, the Knicks coming to town. So, like, if you told me the Cavs or you told me the Celtics, like, the top teams in the East, but I understand that how many people, especially in Hollywood, how many Hollywood types are New Yorkers that relocated to L.A., and they've become Laker fans unless, of course, the Knicks are coming to town. I would think that of all the basketball games that we've seen at Crypto this year, and in particular the basketball games that we've seen since Luka was traded to the Lakers, I would think tomorrow night, because it's the Knicks, it will be a star-studded who's who courtside tomorrow night with all the New York type people who all are going to get, they're Laker fans when the Lakers are playing against somebody else, but all of a sudden they go back to reverting to Knicks fans when the Knicks show up in town. Tomorrow night, I don't know who it's going to be. Like, is Ben Stiller going to be sitting there courtside because he's a crazy Knicks fan? Yeah. Who else? Is Spike Lee coming to town? Spike Lee got something to say?
He's definitely going to be there. I was going to say George won't be there. We would ask if they'd bring it in, but George is going to be out of town.
Where are you heading tomorrow? What game are you going to?
I have Denver on Friday. Denver and Phoenix on Friday. And then I have OKC and Denver on ESPN Radio on Sunday.
You going to be doing some glazing?
I will be doing play-by-play, so perhaps I'll be doing some glazing on my play-by-play of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander if he has a good game.
Which game were you doing?
Yeah,
the play-by-play?
The OKC game.
OKC Denver.
And that's on TV on ESPN?
No, he just said he's doing
on radio.
Okay, well, it went too fast. I missed it. When is your first TV game?
George, do you think you can get in a glazing reference on that?
I could, but you know what? Hold on one second. Hold on, Mateo, buddy. I've got stuff to do here.
Let me talk to Mateo. Let me have that kid. Talk.
No,
put
headphones on.
You know what you need? Let me tell you what you need. Listen to me. Listen to me right now. You need a splitter, and you need a second set of headphones so that I can communicate with my dog, Mateo. Okay.
How about we communicate about your dog, Dave Roberts, which we never got to in the last segment? How about that?
All right. I'm happy to talk about my dog, Dave Roberts.
Okay, Linz, what did he say recently in a very candid moment about his job security last year when they were potentially in harm's way against Cappy's gutty little Padres?
Mm-hmm.
So he talked to Bill Plunkett from the OC Register. I think that's what it's called, right?
And friend of Mason in Ireland.
Yes. So he said, quote, honestly, I wasn't thinking about that in the moment or even entering the series. I do think that if we didn't win that game, talking about game one, it would have become very noisy. A team that was obviously super talented to lose 3 years in a row in the first round, albeit it takes all of us to win and lose. But I do think that calls for my job would have been heightened. So he's like,
no
yeah.
question. That was. I mean, we were literally talking about it. Yeah.
So my question, though, was like, okay, so obviously there was a ton of pressure on him. We all could have agreed that, I mean, after the fact, once everyone saw how he managed his butt off through the entire playoffs, people like kind of like eased up on him and said, well, seeing what he did throughout the playoffs, if they lose now, maybe we don't need to fire him. But a lot of people going into the playoffs, they were like, World Series or he's fired. So now that he's won the World Series, like how long, like how many years of immunity do you think that like buys him?
Well, the last one gave him 4 years, although some people will say, well, they did that in a 60-game season, blah, blah, blah. So that probably, despite that, it still gave him 4 years. So I think he's got at least 5.
They have more pressure now, don't you think? They have even more pressure.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think
he's got a number of years. Yeah. I mean, listen, because we don't know what could happen, right? Like there's so many things that could potentially go wrong.
Like, what if they have a terrible season and they get kicked out, like they get knocked out the first round? Like, what then?
Well,
do they get knocked out in the first round because like Ohtani gets hurt? And,
well, that's
like,
just it.
Gets hurt, like you know what I mean?
That's it. You have to throw in a lot of the circumstances. You know, if they're fully healthy and they get knocked out in the first round by
get, swept,
right?
Yeah.
Then yeah, I mean that could hurt him a lot. But here's the one thing, you know, since you mentioned this, George, about Dave Roberts, I don't really remember any reporting around him and a contract extension. Do you? And has there been any?
Yeah, there was.
I feel
earlier
like
in the season, I thought.
I'm trying to remember. I don't remember. As I recall, Dave Roberts last year, at the end of the year, I believe there was 1 year remaining on his contract, or the contract had come to an end.
Well, this year is his last year because he signed a 3-year extension.
Oh, they're in negotiations, is what it says here, according to DodgerBlue.com.
It's surprising, actually, that in this offseason, that with only 1 year remaining on a contract, that the Dodgers and Dave Roberts did not create an extension.
Exactly.
And
well, I'm sure that that's based on what he wanted and what they were willing to pay.
Well, that's an interesting point, because here's the thing. You would think that if you're the manager of the Los Angeles Dodgers, and I'm not talking about the defending World Series champion Los Angeles Dodgers, forget about that for a quick moment. You would think that you'd be one of the higher paid managers in baseball. You manage an incredibly large payroll. You manage huge superstars. Dave Roberts, as I understand it, is actually on the lower end of baseball managers and salary. Correct. And baseball managers, unlike NBA coaches and specifically like NFL coaches, these guys are not $10, $15, $20 million a year managers. They're like, I want to say the highest paid manager in all of Major League Baseball. Somebody check me on this. I want to say Craig Counsell.
Yes.
And I think it's like $8 million.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just, the Cubs, when they signed him last year.
Yes. Right. And Dave Roberts is the 11th highest paid manager with $3.25 million.
Okay. So Dave Roberts, coming off of last year, especially everything that happened in the playoffs and, you know, holding it all together. What he did when that whole Manny Machado thing happened, where Machado threw the ball, and the way Dave Roberts kind of took all the attention away from his team so his team could go back out and focus, and then what they did with that bullpen throughout the remainder of the postseason, Dave Roberts should be, in my estimation, and I'm biased, I admit it, I'm biased, Dave Roberts should be the highest paid manager in baseball, not Craig Counsell, okay, just based on resume. Now, here's the problem. The Dodgers as an organization look at Dave Roberts, and here's what they think. You know what, Dave? We get a lot of guys to come in here and babysit this team. We get a lot of guys that could go put on a Dodger uniform and listen to what Andrew Friedman tells them to do and, enjoy that fully stocked roster every year of $1 billion of deferred money. But I don't think so. I think Dave Roberts, I mentioned this earlier today, that I think that J.J. Redick's got some Phil Jackson in him. I think Dave Roberts does too. I think Dave Roberts is a personality management specialist, not to mention an excellent baseball strategist. And I'm just shocked that the Dodgers haven't signed him to a longer-term deal.
So when he signed the current extension 3 years ago, it was in March. So my guess is, I guess they're talking. So my guess is it'll probably be done this month if it's going to get done. Because once the season starts, you don't start talking about. You don't really see that, with managers mid-season.
Well, and you usually don't. You guys don't usually only have 1 year left on their deal. People talk about this all the time. Oh, it's a lame duck manager.
It happened last year with someone, didn't it? It just ran out. Someone prominent, and I can't remember who it was. I'll look into it.
Okay. All right. Well, I hope that the Dodgers get this thing straight because I think Dave Roberts last year went from, he's a good manager, and he's got a World Series ring, but that World Series ring came in the shortened COVID season, to I think Dave Roberts elevated now to, I'll say, L.A. legendary status. Do you guys disagree, agree? I think the way that the Dodgers won the World Series last year, I'd say the way Dave Roberts, I'll say emceed the celebration, the dancing with Ice Cube, the introduction of his players, the celebration that took place thereafter. To me, Dave Roberts elevated from, he's a good manager and he's got a ring, but it was in a shortened season, to he's an all-timer. That's how I feel about Dave Roberts. But again, I acknowledge I'm biased. I got it. What do you think, George?
I don't know if he's all-timer just yet. I mean, he deserves more money. I'll give you that.
A lot more money.
By the way, it was Craig Counsell whose contract with the Brewers had expired. He just let it run out. He just said, I'm going to go, I'm going to let it run out, go sign somewhere else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I doubt Dave really wants to go somewhere else.
You don't think so? I mean, he's been there for, 11 years, something like that?
I would say that if you're Dave Roberts and you grew up in North San Diego and you went to college at UCLA and you were disrespected by a team that you spent part of your career with, being the Padres, where they wouldn't even give you so much as an interview, and you get interviewed by the Dodgers and you were handed the keys and you've now won 2 World Series and you've got the greatest roster that maybe baseball has ever seen, the last thing you want to do is leave for more money. You want to do the exact same thing that Matthew Stafford did. Come back to where you're good and where you're comfortable and where you're going to be competitive, and even if it means for a little bit less money.
Rack him.
Somebody rack me.
Rack him.
Hell yeah.
Frickin' rack me, why don't you? I deserve to be racked. I want to be racked.
Rackable.
Totally.
It's nice.
It's real nice. And in that, we are back, baby. We are freaking back.
We are back! We are back!
You hear that, George?
Yes, I did hear it, Cappy.
Just want to make sure. I want to make sure your headphones are working.
We are back, baby.
You know it. You know that's the truth. I'm going to get you a splitter. I'm going to get you an extra pair of headphones, and I'm getting you a second microphone, because when that little rascal Mateo walks into that studio while we're on the air, I want to talk to that kid.
Okay, well, he's out. He's gone.
Okay.
He walked out. I said, yo, you got to go, bro.
Yeah, you did tell him that, and I appreciate that, but I really wanted to talk to him. Yeah. Looked like he was wearing a nice raincoat today.
Getting enough airtime.
Yeah. Hey, listen, I'll tell you something right now, George. I watched Mateo this past weekend in Little League. As a big bomb he hit.
He did hit one out to the grass, which is, at that age, fairly impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Power.
Monster dongs.
Monster dongs is exactly right.
How did you watch him in Little League? Did you go to his game?
George was doing live streaming for me.
Oh, okay.
No, I went to the game, and then I went on my flight. I booked my flight later that night.
Oh, you weren't live streaming the game for me?
No.
Next
Although
time
I could do that.
Yeah, next time I want you to FaceTime me.
I'm going to have to do that this week because I won't be in town.
Will Kelly FaceTime both of us so we can watch him and his at-bats?
I don't know. Maybe.
I mean, you got dad, and then you got a proud uncle. Come on.
By the way, we tried to FaceTime and call you yesterday.
Yeah, I heard that. As a matter of fact,
I thought you weren't always. I thought you're always not. You said you were never going to be out of pocket.
I'm always available, but sometimes I don't like to deal with the media. You know.
I figured.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I don't like to run my business through the media.
You talk about Shaduer. I mean, being arrogant. You don't want to deal with the media.
Yeah, he wanted to ask you to role play as Rob.
We were going to role play.
Okay, who were you going to be?
I was going to be Nico Harrison, I would imagine, because you were probably going to want to be Rob Pelinka, I would presume, in that
Well, yeah. I mean, I definitely want to be Rob Pelinka. I mean, I want to get his coat. I want to button it up. I want to zip it up from the bottom, zip it down.
Exactly.
Right.
That's why
I want to roll up the sleeves, right? Like Rob Pelinka. I want to roll up the sleeves.
This is exactly why we were going to call you.
Literally. Yeah.
Just to hear you say that you wanted to be Rob Pelinka and you wanted to wear his leather jacket.
Hey, tomorrow night, I'm going to be going down to that Laker game against the Knicks tomorrow night.
Me too.
Yeah.
And you want to know something? I'm going to tell you something right now. Tomorrow, I'm going to help make the debut of my boy, AVP, now the senior assistant with the Rams coaching staff. Yeah. I'm going to be taking AVP to the Laker game tomorrow night against the Knicks.
Nice.
Yep.
Alex Van Pelt.
That's right.
Don't know. Not like the American volleyball professional, whatever it's called.
Cappy, since I'm going to be going too, like, can I ask him one Browns-related question, or am I limited to none?
No, you can ask him Browns-related questions. What are you going to ask him? What do you got in mind?
I was just going to be like, what the bleep is going on there? Like, tell me, like, the tea.
Yeah. And you know what he's going to say?
There is no tea.
Got no idea. Haven't been there for a year and a half.
Yeah. By the way, Association of Volleyball Professionals, so I was wrong.
There you go. AVP.
Yeah.
Different AVP.
We should go to the AVP tour this year, Cappy.
I would love to. Is it in Hermosa or is it Redondo?
Well, they have a Hermosa
or Manhattan?
and a Manhattan.
Okay. Because I am going to that concert, Beach Life, in May.
I think John's going, too. He says he's going to hang out with you.
Yeah, we've already booked hotel rooms, and now I'm just waiting to get tickets.
What's Beach Life?
Beach Life is a bunch of white people on the beach. Come on, man.
Yeah, what bands are playing?
Pretty much, that's the deal.
I got to go back and look, but like, the Pretenders,
Like the guys who sing "When I Would Walk 500."
Those guys.
Is that
no?
them?
Those are not the Pretenders.
Oh, okay.
No.
Those are the Smithereens? No.
I don't know if those are the Smithereens either. I'm not sure.
I thought that was the Pretenders.
Mm-hmm. Not the Pretenders.
What do they sing?
Let's see. The Pretenders. I have to really go back into my archives.
No, the Proclaimers.
The Proclaimers. Those are the I Can't Walk 500 Miles people?
Yes, it was those guys.
That was close.
You were close.
I was close.
Mm-hmm. The Pretenders are like, I think the lead singer, her name's Chrissy Hine, I think is her name. Hine. And but I don't think they're like the biggest band. I think they're.
Who's the biggest band then?
I don't remember. I mean, when we booked it.
Lenny Kravitz.
Okay, Lenny Kravitz.
Yeah,
he's
there
sexy.
it is. Lenny Kravitz.
Sublime. Oh, I will go see them with
Okay. Who
Bradley
else?
Noel's son.
Who else?
Cake. Oh, I love Cake.
You like some Cake,
I've seen
do
them.
you?
I've seen them a couple times at like a Warped
Cake's
tour.
good.
Yeah, is Bush playing?
No. I feel like they're
Oh,
too big
because I
for
love
this.
that band. I love Bush.
Yeah, they're actually doing like a whole tour.
Bush?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay, we should go see Bush.
We should. Sugar Ray, I will go see. You got to go day 2. Is that when you're going, Cappy?
I'm going the whole weekend.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Because that day 2, you got Sublime, Pretenders, Cake, Sugar Ray, Long Beach Dub All Stars.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next
So
one,
here we go, Cappy.
Alanis
Here's the
Morissette.
AVP tour.
Yeah,
Hold
tell
on.
me. Oh, I love Alanis
They have a
Morissette.
Los Angeles, it says, July 11th and 12th, but that's not specific to where. Oh, here you go. Manhattan Beach Open, August 15th to 17th. But that July 11th is usually the Hermosa, but it says Los Angeles for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's not in Hermosa anymore. We should call Geeter. He'd know.
Geeter would definitely know. He's all up in the volleyball world.
But Manhattan Beach, August 15th.
All right.
Down
DeAndre,
in
you
San
want?
Diego, down in South, June 6th.
Oh yeah, DeAndre, you want to go?
I'll go.
By the way, tomorrow when Tony Khan from AEW comes in studio, brother, let me tell you something.
Brother,
we are going to take DeAndre, all 6'3", 260 pounds of twisted steel and sex appeal, and we are going to turn him into a pro wrestler.
That's
and
right.
by the way, imagine this: Big D is coming to the ring with his manager, the Hebrew Hammer, right? Big D, just step back. You just kill people, and I will do all the talking.
Oh hell yeah!
Okay.
Oh,
Hell
yeah.
Hear what, George? Hear what?
It is.
Hell yeah.
But it's not the same dates. I don't know. That's weird.
Looking
Anyway.
at tickets.
All right, go ahead. Twisted Steel and Sex Appeal. Hebrew Hammer, go.
That's all right. That's it. No, he's gonna be the guy that just beats people down, and I'm gonna be the guy that's gonna do all the talking for our team.
I need to come up with a name. I need a
No. We have
Big
the
D.
name. Big D is the name.
Yeah.
All right.
Big D.
All right.
Big D is the name. Everybody's like, they were like, ooh, what is that supposed to mean? Big D. And, they don't realize your name is really DeAndre, but everybody's like, ooh, Big D.
What if he signed you to a developmental contract right there on the spot? What would you do?
Let's do it. Let's get to work.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's get to work. Yeah, well, you should go at that point. No,
Right.
I mean, we love you around here, but he signs you to a contract. You got to roll.
I know. We are going to either turn you into a pro football player, a pro wrestler. I've tried to get you to play for the G League of the Lakers.
No chance.
South Bay. Why not?
I'm
going to put you one-on-one against
DeAndre is
Bronny.
really, I'm sure he's good, but not. I mean, those guys are really good.
I know,
They're
but I still would. Come on.
Like over half the league in the G League has played in the NBA. Like that's like a big step.
I still want to see you go one-on-one against Bronny. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. You know what I need to see is that this is what happens when you're here is that we go way over the breaks. Like breaks don't even exist.
No, they shouldn't exist. We don't need them.
Yeah.
They're bad for the show.
Except I got to talk. Well, they're not bad because I got to talk about Jacob and Ronnie.
Oh, well, then do it.
Yeah, my guy. You get into an accident, you call Jacob, 844-24-JACOB. Tell him Sedano, Mason, and the crew at 710 sent you. You're a sports fan, right? You always want your team to be well coached and win. You know who's always winning? Who's ready for the next opponent? Yep, my guy Jacob, just like JJ. Think about it. If you're injured in a car accident, truck, accident, slip or fall at the store, ride share, whatever, it'd feel like you lost the game. Don't worry. The accident's only the beginning of the game. Call Jacob at 844-24-JACOB. Tell him Sedano, Mason, and the crew at 710 sent you. Get that free consultation. Trust me, Jacob knows the weakness of the opponent. He knows how to exploit. Go attack against that insurance company and their poor defense. Provide you the victory you deserve. So make sure you're on the winning team. If you're injured in an accident, don't wait. Call Jacob, 844-24-JACOB. Tell him Sedano, Mason, and the crew at 710 sent you. When you call an attorney, you want one who's respected. So call Jacob because he's the real deal. And remember, the consultation's free. So call Jacob at 844-24-JACOB, 844-24-JACOB, or visit him online at calljacob.com.
Hey, guys, it's Cap. Here's the scenario. Your home is flooded and the damage is severe. Now it feels like your insurance company is turning on you. They won't approve a replacement living arrangement, and the adjuster leaves you in the lurch. Take a breath and call Avner Gatt, one of Southern California's largest public adjuster firms. Avner Gatt knows how to fight back when your insurance company makes you feel like a criminal, leaving you with no hope of getting into your home and getting it all back together. With decades of experience and a passion for helping people, Avner and his family take the call themselves. So whether you have a toilet overflow, a broken water line, a burst supply line, a broken fire sprinkler, whatever the water damage is, you call Avner Gatt today at 818-917-5256, or you go to avnergatt.com. It's 818-917-5256 or avnergatt.com. You call, Avner answers, he says hello. Your claim is our game. avnergatt.com.
Robinhood Gold members can now enjoy the VIP treatment, receiving a 3% IRA match on annual retirement contributions. With Robinhood Gold, the perks of the high net worth are now available for any net worth. The new gold standard is here with Robinhood Gold. To receive a 3% boost on annual IRA contributions, sign up at Robinhood.com/gold.
Investing involves risk. 3% match requires Robinhood Gold at $5 a month for 1 year from first match. Must keep funds in IRA for 5 years. Go to Robinhood.com/boost. Robinhood Financial LLC member SIPC. Gold membership is offered by Robinhood Gold LLC.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. Welcome to the A to Z savings event at AutoZone.
Yeah, happy to be here. Can I get some rotors?
Would you like brake pads with that?
How much are the brake pads?
Free with the rotors.
Free. Really?
Really, free.
Okay, I also need some oil.
Would you like an oil filter with that?
Yeah, how much is that?
Free with 5 quarts of oil.
Free? Really?
Really, free. It's part of the A to Z savings event.
You might as well call it A to free.
At AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
This is Sedano and Kap on 710.
I'm a cocky son of a like there's no question about that.
Sedano and Kap continues right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
By the way, before we get to Big Deal or No Deal, and
Tell
Lindsay takes it away, DJC Reels says, I'm still waiting for an apology from that gutless scumbag Chris Morales for Dave Roberts. To which I responded to DJC Reels, Chris is a little busy coming back from the dead.
Yeah, he is.
He came back from the dead.
He really did. Yeah. But I will say this. I've been getting reports from Morales. told me one day he walked 3 miles, next day he walked 4 miles. Baseball, do you have a report for us?
Yeah, we went to Disneyland on Sunday, and he even went on some rides. We probably walked, I know, Disneyland. We were there for my friend and I stayed a little bit longer, but they were there for a good 2.5 hours, 3 hours.
Yeah.
Walking around Disney.
Morales is making a more impressive comeback than DeMar Hamlin. I mean, the way George yelled he came back from the dead.
He came back from the dead!
This is an all-time comeback.
Oh, my.
It's true. An all-timer.
Yeah. All right, what do you got, Linz?
All right, I'll do one really quickly here. So
we may be able to sneak in two, but go ahead.
Okay.
With Cappy, we never know.
Diana Ross is about to turn 81 years old. Good for her. Love you, lady.
Love Diana Ross.
And you know what? People were like, hey, why don't you chill out? Why don't you retire? Why don't you, go live your life? Which I'm sure she does.
Don't.
She said she'll never retire. Even though she's going to be 81 years old, she said that, singing and acting, that's her life and that's what keeps her young. So I feel like that's kind of a big deal that she's still doing all the things at almost 81. And I want to know if you guys think that either of you will still be working at 81.
No chance.
No way?
Nope.
I feel like Cappy's a workaholic, and he's going to work until he's just drops dead.
Well, let me just say this to Diana Ross. First of all, girl, I love you. That's number one. Number two, when you're a performer, you are driven by performing. I mentioned that I was just at the Eagles at the Sphere. When you see Joe Walsh and you see Don Henley, and these guys are in their probably 70s, they just want to keep on going. When you see Mick Jagger in his 70s or early 80s, whatever he is, still working that stage, he wants to keep going. Same with Billy Joel, Elton John, you name it. They're just performers, and they can keep on performing the same stuff over and over again, and we'll keep paying for it. So you know what, Diana? You do it, man. Because if you show up, I'll show up.
Wait,
That's all I'm saying.
I have a question. So we talked a little bit about the SNL 50 special, which I just got around to watching last night. I know I'm super late and people don't care about it. However, I couldn't help but notice there were 3 musical performances that really I have very strong opinions about. One, everyone was crying that Lil Wayne didn't get the Super Bowl halftime show because
Lil Tanucci?
Yes, exactly. Because he was from, where was it again? New
Orleans.
Right.
Yes.
He was terrible. He did a set live with the Roots, and he was terrible. You could barely hear what he was saying. I love Lil Wayne, and I was very disappointed. He's nowhere near as old as these other people I'm about to bring up, but he's definitely past his prime. The other thing is,
wow, strong words for Lil Wayne.
He just wasn't great. Maybe he was having an off night. I don't know. But what about Paul Simon and Paul McCartney? Do people just let them sing out of tune because they're legends and they just want to be in their presence, and that's why they pay all that money?
Yeah.
Even though they're pretty bad?
Were they out of tune? I don't know.
They were very bad.
Really?
Bad. I thought so.
Maybe if all 3 of them were bad, maybe it wasn't the 3 of them. Maybe it was the sound engineer.
No, I mean, Sabrina Carpenter saved the performance with Paul Simon because she has a beautiful voice. She's on top. She's on her A game right now. And then, Paul Simon was just kind of kind of sound like yodely.
Yeah, I thought that performance wasn't awesome. I don't think the 2 of them worked great together.
Yeah, it wasn't a good mesh. It was a weird mesh. And then Paul McCartney, he was trying to get up into the high notes, and he couldn't do it, but he was still trying.
But
he's still going for it.
He's in his 80s also.
Right, but he has so much money. He doesn't what is he still doing out there?
He is performing, and he is motivated because he can't. It's just
he can't let go.
It's who they are.
Okay.
Listen. If Andy Reid could coach till he's 81 years old, he would. Why does Pete Carroll come back? Pete Carroll has more money than he'll ever be able to spend. Pete Carroll has multi millions of dollars for his family. But at 73 years old, and I realize it's not 81, but he still wants to coach. And it's a stressful deal. It's what drives people. George, you say you won't be working your whole life, and maybe you won't be.
Lindsay, he's working enough now for the next 2 lives.
But I will say this, I could envision myself being 80 years old and still working, not as a broadcaster per se, but doing deals and doing business, whether it's real estate or tech or whatever. I could still see myself still doing stuff.
Going number 1 in the shower?
Listen, that is never going to stop. And by the way, seems to me that most people agree.
By then, it might be easier for you, to be honest with you.
Well, it might not be something that I can control. How about that?
Well, at that point.
69% of people agree with me that they do pee in the shower.
Okay. I will say this. Yeah, my plan is definitely not to be working at 80 years old.
Do you have a plan as to when you'd like to retire? Serious question.
Before 70.
Before 70. Okay. How old's
so
Mike Breen?
69. That's when you want to retire?
Mike Breen is 64, 63, 64.
Okay. I don't know how old Jim Nance is, but Jim's got to be in his mid-60s, I would think.
Yeah.
Joe Buck's probably around my age, probably around in his mid-50s, mid to late 50s.
Jim Nance is 65.
Okay. Al Michaels. How old's Al Michaels?
Yeah.
I'll bet you Al Michaels is 80.
Al's like 78 or something like that.
Yeah, I would bet you Al Michaels is 80 years
80.
old. 80
Just
years
turned
old.
80.
I would prefer not to have to work that long, to be honest with you.
Well,
so
Al
you
Michaels
said before
doesn't have to
70.
work.
Is it 69 or do you have like 65, 60? Like how much
I don't
sooner?
know. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. You know, maybe by then I'll actually need the Botox, like Cappy always says I have now. So.
Well, I need it. I need it now. I mean, Al Michaels doesn't have to work, but Al Michaels is like, hey, look, it's the football season. I get to go to games. I get to have a good time. Everybody celebrates me everywhere I go.
But I also don't want it. I don't want to have. I'd rather call it on my own. I'd rather be able to be the one to say, okay, I'm done, as opposed to have them rip it away, which generally happens even to legends like him.
Yep. Well, in his case, Al Michaels, the best thing that ever happened in his career, at least in my opinion.
And by the way, but that may or may not happen to him. But it, I mean, there was plenty of chatter that Marv Albert wanted to keep going, and then there was no Marv Alberts that they didn't renew the last deal after.
Yeah,
that,
but for Al, the best thing that happened, again, just my opinion, is going from network TV to Amazon.
Yeah,
because Amazon, rather than saying, "Hey, we're this new platform for football," they were like, "We want to sound and look like what people know," and they could have said, "Hey, let's go with the young guy."
I mean, Al's, I believe the original deal was 3 years, so this would be the third year for Al Michaels. Do you believe he's going to work beyond this contract at Amazon?
I would say if he wants to, yes. If he doesn't want to, no. I don't think that they will disrespect him by booting him because, by the way, he's still really sharp. I mean, I don't think I know there's been criticism a couple of years ago that people were like, boy, he doesn't sound very excited. But, okay, that's just haters on the internet.
I love Al Michaels. I mean,
So
he's
do
the
I.
soundtrack to me. He's the soundtrack of the NFL, really, in a lot of ways in my life.
For me, soundtrack of like the biggest sporting events, going back to when I'm 10 years old and it's 1980. Do you believe in miracles? Yes.
Yeah, I was only like 2. So.
I know, but think about that. 1980. You're talking about 45 years ago.
Yeah.
That's how long he's been doing it.
All right, Cappy, we got a break.
All right, let's do it.
All right. Let's talk Prize Picks, though, real quick. Prize Picks. You want action in the state of California? Prize Picks. Speaking of Uncle Al, by the way, he loves some action, it sounds like.
He sure does.
Yeah. So download the Prize Picks app. Use the promo code Cappy, K-A-P-P-Y. Your first $5 play, you get a $50 bonus. Man, and when you actually win, because you will win eventually, unless you do what Cappy does, which is try to link up like 17,000 plays together. But if you do it smartly, you can win some cash, and you can get it as quick as 15 minutes, Cappy.
Yeah, but don't forget, I was a big winner last week when I had a 5-pick flex play. It was a $20 play to win $160. It was a nice score for me. We have a listener, George, who hit me up. He was down to his last $4 in his Prize Picks account, and he hit big, and he turned $4 into $56. Now, you may say, well, that doesn't sound like a whole lot of money, but when you're down to you multiplied your money by like 15 times. Tonight, real quick, here are my plays. I've got Nikola Jokic tonight for 23 rebounds and assists. I've got him for more.
Did you call Nikolai like Volkov?
Nikola.
Nikola. There you go. Yeah.
DeMar DeRozan, I've got him tonight for more than 17.5 points. That's a goblin play, rather. That's the little green guy that's next to him. I've got Keegan Murray tonight for more than 13.5 points. I'm going all NBA. I've got Jared Allen tonight for more than 23.5 points, rebounds, and assists. It's the third quarter. He's got 13. He better pick it up. And I've got Jeremy Grant tonight, who did not play in a game that has gone final. So I will get credit for that from Prize Picks. So there you go. There are my picks. Those are my plays tonight. And I would say good luck to everybody on your Prize Picks.
All right, Prize Picks, run your game.
The CONCACAF Nations League Finals arrive at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California, March 20th to 23rd. USA versus Panama, followed by Canada versus Mexico.
The dream is now. Don't miss the Final Four national teams in the semifinals doubleheader. 1 ticket, 2 matchups. Get your tickets now on Ticketmaster. For more information, visit CONCACAFNationsLeague.com/tickets.
You never expect a massive trade between superstar players or getting into an accident. Hey, it's Trav with DeMarco.
There's only one team you can call on to play defense for you, the personal injury law offices of Joseph S. Normand. Visit NormandLegal.com or call this number, 213-747-2000. That's 213-747-2000.
Visit NormandLegal.com or call 213-747-2000. That's 213-747-2000. Let Joseph and his team score the winning shot for you.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/joy, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs, with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now boarding Group A. Please have your boarding passes ready to scan. If your phone is cracked, old, or was chewed up by your Chihuahua travel companion, please refrain from holding up the line. We ask that you kindly not be that guy, and instead simply go to Verizon and trade in any phone from their top brands in any condition on any unlimited plan for the new Samsung Galaxy S25 with Galaxy AI. With new line on my plan. Additional terms apply. See Verizon.com for details.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time and switch to the expensive shampoo with amino acids. Sure, you don't know what those are or why you need them, but it sounds very impressive. And if you switch and save hundreds, you can massage it into your scalp every day. Now, if only you can get people to lean toward your head to smell those aminos. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time. For shampoo, Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
Final segment of the program. Sedano and Kap. Cappy, great to have you back. We're going to have literally like a minute here when we're done to do Dealer's Choice because we have just done terrible clock management.
No, awesome
and
clock
management. And by we, I
management.
mean you.
No, amazing clock management. I think this has been a great show. God, I missed you guys.
Yeah, we missed you too, Cappy, even though you are a loquacious one, Jack.
I don't know what loquacious means, but if it's good, that's me.
All right, what do you got? Dealer's Choice, go.
2 quick things. 1, you can ridicule me all day long, George Sedano.
How about you tell us that Dealer's Choice is brought to you by our friends at Seller's Advantage first, too.
Okay, well, I'll do that. Why don't I do that? Thanks a hell of a lot, by the way.
You're
Dealer's Choice. There, brought to you by Seller's Advantage. You want to sell your house before you call an agent? Call Seller's Advantage. They're going to buy it with an as-is competitive cash offer. No repairs needed. They make selling easy. Call 888-390-AS-IS for a no-obligation offer or go to sellersadvantage.com. Thank you.
30 seconds. Go.
You can ridicule me all day long. You can knock my choice of television show all day long. But I'm here to tell you one thing right now, Jack. Reacher is back, and he's freaking awesome. Everybody who's listening right now, you should all watch Reacher so that we can all tell George how much he's missing. That's number 1. Okay. Number 2, tomorrow, the payoff. Tomorrow, my boy, Deacon Fry, the guitar player and singer from the Eagles, will be on the show at 5 o'clock tomorrow. Be here, sucker.
Can't wait, Cappy. All right, we're done here. Great job, DeAndre, Lindsay, The Circle, all the guys in the back with the video. We'll talk to you mañana. See ya.